Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes through to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage.
Translated on K239BG in Grand Forks and K217DN in Grand Forks.
What a play.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports this evening from the Blue Line Iceplex tonight, more commonly known as Eagles Arena here in these woods. Grand Forks Red River is at home tonight, and Grand Forks Red River will take on the Roseau Rams as Red River lifts their season. The Rough Riders get things started for 2025. We welcome you to our coverage tonight of Red River Rough Rider hockey. Ryan Cunningham, and as always, my partner, Ryan Kuntz, here with us here tonight. And while it's always exciting to start a season, there's no question about that. So tonight, coming into this, we know that Grand Forks Red River maybe a little bit young in the forward position, maybe a little seasoned or experienced in the defender's position, and they'll really look to rally around that tonight. And boy, I'll tell you what, there's no time to learn how things are going to work. You're taking on Roseau in game number 1. You'll find out rather quickly what you need to work on tonight.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Ryan. I mean, Red River brings back 4 forwards out of the 9. So they're replacing 5 up front. But like you mentioned, really solid decor. I mean, I looked at the group here, and they got 4 returners back. They got some help coming up from Bantams and JVs. I think they're 6 or 7 deep. Now, Cam Urian's out tonight, but they're going to replace him with another solid player, Brody Lucier, and he's going to be a guy who might factor in. So decor solid. From all indications, it sounds like Rylan Corinta has kind of continued to excel from what we saw last year, the Cinderella story, where he let in, 100 goals in the first 4 games and then ends up being an all-tournament goalie by the end of the year. So I think this is, like you said, Red River's going to have to kind of lean on some different things this year. We might not see the high-flying offense, but back-end goaltending can win you a lot of hockey games.
At least to get started, obviously. And we've heard some good things about some of the men that are up on the front lines as well. And for this Red River team, that's really what it's going to be about this year. And you'll hear that from Tim Scarperud coming up later on in our pregame report. They have some spots to fill. Now, he didn't say holes to fill, and that's important. Spots to fill. There's some guys that are competing for time, and that competition's pretty good right now.
Yeah, and just talking to Tim up here a few minutes ago, I think that's kind of the name of the game, right? That bottom, that bottom 5, 6, the bottom 5, 6 guys, that could be fluid all year, especially early on, as start to play games. Who steps up, who maybe falls behind. I think we're going to see a lot of movement with the lines, with the players that we're seeing dressing, but that's what this is for, right? This early part of the season, they'll figure this all out. And, I have no doubt, I think Tim Scarper, there's one thing that we've seen him do is better than maybe anybody, is take a team from here and turn them into this at the end of the year.
Next level, yeah.
He always seems to find a way to kind of maximize his skill set, his players, what they're good at, what they're not good at. And, wouldn't be shocked if Red River's there at the end again this year.
Our coverage tonight is brought to you by Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You can find them online at rivards.com. And Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. And coming up tomorrow, we're going to have some Green Wave hockey. And talking today with Tyler Palmasino, getting ready for that game tomorrow, he mentioned buy-in, and that's something that matters tonight as well for Grand Forks Red River. He said, we don't do anything really different year to year as far as our team, but some players just buy into it more than others, and this is what it'll be about for this team. Will you buy into defense? Will you buy into goaltending? Will you buy into your strengths? That really is the big challenge for Grand Forks Red River this season.
Yeah, that's a great point by Tyler Palmasino, and 100% correct. I mean, we reference that Mike Lemoyne team a lot. We had such a fun time watching that team that year where they, like this team, maybe a little bit offensively challenged. But they found a way. They all bought in. They played a certain way, became this defensive juggernaut. end up knocking off a really good Central team in the state semis, and then beat D1 goalie Zach Sandy in the championship.
Right.
That came out of nowhere. So, yeah, it's not who you have. It's what they make of it when they're there.
And, of course, during the pregame report, we'll tell you a little bit more about the story of high school hockey this year. Our pregame coverage brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and also by True North Equipment. And, Rhino, we're hearing a lot about the team across town. Grand Forks Central, a lot of weapons, a couple of extra guys that maybe they weren't expecting to have. If there's a team that would be tailor-made to give them a game, it's a team like Grand Forks Red River that's strong on the defensive side of things and can slow down an offensive-minded hockey team. That might be the type of clash we have between those two this year.
I'm excited to watch Central play because, like you said, the weapons are incredible. But that will be the ultimate, offense versus defense, I think, game when we see those teams meet up.
It's going to be a lot of fun when we get there. But we got a long way to go before we get there here tonight, folks. We're glad to have you along with us here tonight at, again, the Blue Line Iceplex, more cleverly known as Eagles Arena. They're calling it the Blue Line Iceplex nowadays. The signage has changed on the building, and obviously that's a big deal. But tonight, Grand Forks Red River gets set to lift its season and get ready to go against Roseau as the Rams come to town. And we'll talk more about the Rams coming up a little bit as well. They've got some of the same issues that Red River does, a lot of experience that graduated from the team a year ago. Our pregame coverage brought to you tonight by Rivard's Turf and Forage. They're a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. Again, find them online at rivards.com. When you do business with Rivards, you're doing business in a way that gives you science on your side. They mix and match all of their seed varieties right here in Grand Forks at the mixing plant, and they're ready for you at rivards.com with all of their products. And Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. If it's time for a new one, if it's time to get the current one that you have serviced and ready to go, or to keep it in operation, they've got the service department, they've got the parts you're looking for, and every make and model of trailer on their lot that you would need to move on to the next level when it comes down to the work that you have to do. And of course, they're big East Grand Forks hockey fans, and we have them on KNOX Live Sports tonight in girls hockey against the Delano Tigers, and tomorrow afternoon in boys hockey against the Delano Tigers. So you can join us bringing you those tonight as well, and tomorrow out here tonight it's Grand Forks Red River going up against Roseau. Lots to do in our pregame report. We'll take a look at Drive for the Title, going to concentrate on the, well, we'll say the poll. That might be a little lopsided for a couple of teams up on top in the statewide poll. We'll talk about that. Tim Scarperud, the head coach of the Rough Riders, joined us here tonight for our pregame report as well. So we'll talk with Coach Scarperud in a couple of moments and get ready for our starting lineups in hockey tonight here at the Blue Line Iceplex, formerly Eagles Arena. Red River, Roseau tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics, we craft your vision, you watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports this evening. We are at the Blue Line Iceplex, more commonly known as Eagles Arena, this year known as the Blue Line Iceplex, and Grand Forks Red River gets set to host Roseau tonight in the season opener for the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders. We welcome you back to our coverage of high school sports on KNOX Live Sports and KNOX Radio. For those of you joining us on the radio side this evening, you have the opportunity to pick up video coverage of this event tonight. You can search out KNOX Live Sports by going to KNOX TV on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the link right there. Or you can go to our website, knoxradio.com, and take a look under the sports tab in the live sports link, and you'll be able to find the viewer window right there as well tonight as we continue with our pregame report this evening, brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Put your logo to work with a variety of different materials that can be custom etched and affixed to apparel or to items that you're looking to use as promotional items, whether it's wood, plastic, or metal. Along with that, they've got their custom embroidery and they've got the screen printing, and they'll also take care of your vinyl signage. Signature Graphics and Apparel is near the Point Bridge in East Grand Forks, and True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. At True North Equipment, they have the John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally around our area, and they're ready to serve you with service, sales at True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you. Well, as we start our pregame report here tonight, let's take a look at Drive for the title that we have for you this evening. The statewide coaches poll is out at this point, and well, the statewide coaches poll, some familiar names on top of it, and you can probably understand why that is at this point. Grand Forks Central, 16 of 20 first place votes. Grand Forks Red River with 4 first place votes coming in the number 2 position. Then it's Fargo North, Fargo Davies, and Bismarck Century going in the numbers 3, 4, and 5. And there were some teams out there that, well, had some problems trying to keep their teams around throughout the course of the offseason. And that's become something that has been kind of a conversation piece as well, as we kind of run through what we have going on as far as the statewide poll is concerned coming out here this season. And so when you look at that and you start taking a look at what you've got going on with that statewide poll and some of the storylines that are out there to get things started this year, you know, one of the things that was talked about probably the most at this point was the fact that the juniors were going to affect some, and the juniors, in fact, did affect some people, and there might have been a few that were affected a little bit more as an impact than maybe some others. And so we'll kind of run down the storyline on what that looks like tonight. So first of all, Ryan, you take a look at that list. There's no Minot there, and obviously no Minot in the top 5. I think the word was there were 7 different players that decided to jump ship and move on to someplace else. That hurt. There were some key spots in some other teams. West Fargo doesn't appear in the top 5 after a great season a year ago. Central, not quite a unanimous number 1, though, at that point either. There's still some respect for Red River. So a few different storylines in that poll so far.
Yeah, you nailed it. Minot got crushed. They lost a lot of talent on Minot years. So that's pretty unfortunate. The one team that I didn't see on there that I'm actually a little bit curious about is Fargo Cheyenne. I think West Fargo Cheyenne is got a potential to kind of be maybe a team that apparently no one's thinking about that works their way up. I mean, they have a great sophomore goalie in Cruz Fitzpatrick. He's going to steal games this year. You just wait.
Okay.
Bennett Benson is back for, I think, his 9th year. So he's back, and sounds like he played well for us this fall. He looks like a next-level player. He's got some good line mates this year. I'm curious about West Fargo Cheyenne. Obviously, West Fargo Packers, they lose Bryce Matterton, so I'm sure there's some thoughts there that what do they do without a guy who scored 100 points last year. But I think West Fargo's going to fight their way through. They got a new coach, Parker Metz, who's a phenomenal coach. I have no doubt that he's going to bring that team up, and they're going to be competitive on most nights. So it'll be a really interesting year. I mean, outside of Central, who I think is probably going to be one, I think it's going to be a lot of what we saw last year where everyone's kind of beating everybody, at least in the East region.
Sure. Now, let's talk about one big storyline. We are not down a team from last year in the East region. We are, however, with a couple of different teams. You're going to hear the name Fargo-Shanley for the first time in a while. Not South Shanley, just Fargo-Shanley. And then Fargo North absorbs Fargo South. You saw Fargo North on the screen as the number 3 team in North Dakota. Maybe they're the beneficiary of that co-op. They've had a good program, kind of a mid-range in the EDC program trying to make that turn, right? Is this the year that they get to make that turnaround?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen North right on the cusp, like you said. They're always in that like 5-6 spot, always just one game away from kind of getting to the state tournament or being where they want to be. I mean, all of a sudden you absorb Fargo South. Like you said, you add 2-3 guys. Is that what it takes to kind of push them over the edge? We've seen what Tyler Klein can do with Fargo North. That's a team that goes hard every night. They could make some noise.
It could be a lot of fun in the East region this year. But Central, the favorite at this point. I think most people would expect that would be the storyline coming through, and it's just because of some unbelievably good offensive potential that they have on that team.
Yeah, we were joking, I mean, the last couple of weeks about the first 2 lines that they have. Now, Cooper DeZiel was a guy that we didn't think was going to be here this year. Thought he'd be gone playing juniors. Things didn't work out. He's back. He had 70 points last year, 60, so yeah. He's back again. They're adding Nolan Mardo. Those first 2 lines for Central, man, are they going to be a handful.
Yeah,
they're going to be a handful.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch a lot of teams play this year as we get ready for what should be a fun Eastern Dakota Conference season. That's a look at Drive for the Title, and Drive for the Title is brought to you tonight here on News Radio 1310 KNOX and also on KNOX Live Sports. And again, for those of you that are looking for video coverage of this event tonight, you can find that. You can go to our website, knoxradio.com, and take a look for that video coverage under the sports link and the live sports tab, or you can go to KNOX TV on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for KNOX TV, and you'll find the opportunity to watch us there tonight as well. We're looking forward to a really, really nice night tonight between Grand Forks, Red River, and Roseau. Let's Drive for the Title. When we come back, we'll be joined by the head coach of Grand Forks Red River Rough Rider Hockey, Tim Scarperud, as our pregame report continues in just a couple of moments. And it's brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life. And True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We're having just a few technical issues that we're working ourselves through tonight. Thank you for hanging on with us here this evening. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here tonight as we continue our coverage of Grand Forks Red River Rough Rider hockey. The Rough Riders set to go up against the Roseau Rams this evening. Our pregame report brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And our coverage brought to you this evening as well by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Well, we continue along with our pregame report this evening, and our pregame coaches conversation is presented tonight, and it's presented tonight by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You can find their Kubota products on their lot across from Simplot on Gateway in Grand Forks, and whether you're looking for scissor lifts or skid steer loaders, snow movers, they have you covered with a full selection. And if you're looking for that do-it-yourself tool to finish off that project in your home, they've got you covered with your full tool department that you're looking for on North Washington, just a couple of blocks south of Gateway. And of course, they've got a service department to make those work again. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, they're your Kubota dealers. The head coach of Grand Forks Red River Rough Rider Hockey, Tim Scarperud, joining us earlier tonight for our pregame conversation here this evening as we get set to watch Grand Forks Red River and Roseau in action tonight. And we have the comments of head coach Tim Scarperud with us here this evening. Coach, it's always cliche to say in the first game of the season, it's more about us than it is about the game or that type of thing. But when you bring in a good opponent like this and you've got a team that has some new faces, it really is about that tonight. They're going to show you a little bit about who you are this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Roseau's got a pretty good history in the hockey world, and we're just excited to get going. Obviously, we've been going for a couple weeks now, tryouts for a few days, then kind of our first full week of practice here, and you're spot on. It's 100% about us, right? I mean, you work on some systems, different things, and what we said to our guys, too, is, hey, who cares about the systems right now? Yeah, think about them, try to play the game the right way and play the systems that we want, but if you're going to make a mistake, just make a mistake by going hard.
Coach, the word about your team right now is that you've got some spots to fill up on the front end, but you have a back end that you can really gather around some guys that have valuable minutes. Your blue line seems to be a place where you have some instant strength tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 4 guys that are back from last year that played key roles for us last year. So we're going to rely on them a lot. Obviously, Corinne's in the net. He had a great second half of the year, great last month of the year. So we're going to rely on him in the nets. And what's exciting is guys have some spots that are open, so it's going to be fun to see what they do.
And speaking of those open spots, I've heard that a couple of your players have really taken a step from last year. Guys like Cale Gruenberg, guys like Caden Ulmer have come back as better hockey players. And Griffin Hoganson on that first line, he does a lot of good things for you. It was a good place to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And that's pretty common in the high school world, right? I mean, these kids grow 3-4 inches one year, maybe gain 20 pounds. Maturity level from sophomore to junior to senior. It's quite a bit at this age, and it's exciting to see these kids grow as not only hockey players but people, and really looking forward to the season to get started here.
Coach, I know it's an early question to ask you, but how do you think this team might be different from teams that you've had the last couple of years? Are there some noticeable differences in this team?
Yeah, I think we kind of already touched on it. D, we probably have more veteran presence back on the D side of puck. And then forwards, we got a lot of spots that are, to be filled and see who steps up. So, it's maybe been flip-flopped where we've had maybe a few more forwards, coming back than prior years. But you know what? Every year is a new challenge. Every year is a new group. And I think this group, after those scrimmages in East Side last weekend, I'm optimistic. I was happy with what some of these guys did that have never played before, and really looking forward to see what they do in our first regular season game.
And what's the message been like in the locker room? Are these guys hungry? A runner-up performance last year, and there's always good teams that you know about on your schedule right away. What are these guys' presence right now? What is that like?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's been a great couple weeks. These guys have been hungry. They've been intense. They've been competitive. Monday after the weekend was maybe a little bit slower of a practice. Not the intensity that we wanted, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was great, and intensity's been good. We're going to rely on our leadership to show these new guys and younger guys the right way to play, and it's been good. I think they're going to be ready to go.
Good luck tonight, Coach. You gave us a great treat tonight. Roseau coming to town. Friday night hockey here in Grand Forks. Should be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No better spot to be.
Yeah, those comments earlier tonight from the head coach of Grand Forks Red River, Tim Scarperud, getting ready for the start to a season tonight that his team is going to have coming in. And, you know, we talked to him a little bit about some of the differences that are there for his team from compared to past years. And, you know, let's talk that over, Ryan, when we have the opportunity. You know, he mentioned that, hey, we're probably a little bit more D-centric, a little bit less forward-centric to start the year. And he said the past few years, this Red River team has had good forwards. So from the coaching perspective, because you do a little bit of that from time to time, tell us, is it sometimes harder to produce those defensemen? And is this kind of a luxury that Grand Forks Red River has coming back with returning defensemen instead of being forward heavy as perhaps the team has been the last few years?
Yeah, like we kind of talked about. I mean, if you have a solid D-core and a solid goalie, you can win games just by default, right? Your goalie can steal your game, your defense can lock down other teams. You can win games just by having that back end be so experienced and so good. You know, we saw Red River last year. Now think about last year, how this team started. A lot of offensive talent, but they weren't playing defense the right way. I mean, Riley Corinta struggled early, but that wasn't all on him, right? They just were not playing good team D. We talked about a lot, and they were getting outscored. I mean, they were scoring 4 goals a game and losing.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to keep up if you can't play defense. It's hard to outscore your opponents every single night. So, if you're going to start somewhere, starting with a solid back end and goaltending, that might be the place to go, and then you can kind of work your way forward, figure out what your forward group has, figure out a way that you can generate offense. I mean, hey, Ryan, you can always throw pucks on net and send guys to the front of the net and get some cheesy ones. I mean, that's easy, right? I mean,
well,
you can always,
sometimes we've looked for that.
Yeah, that's true.
And it hasn't been as easy to produce as we would like.
There goes that buy-in again, right? Right. Buy-in, guys. But yeah, I think they're going to be just fine. I think the Red River coaching staff Tim seemed excited. He seemed excited tonight. I've talked to a couple other guys. I think they feel excited after that scrimmage on Saturday that they had. I mean, granted, it's just a scrimmage, but I think they're ready to go. I think they see something in this team that they're really looking forward to the season.
I thought in talking with Coach Scarperud tonight that they were actually very optimistic. He's excited to try to get the season started tonight. Now that brings us to a good place where we have an opportunity to take a look at our tools for the game tonight. And our tools for the game this evening are presented by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Logan Karski is your State Farm Insurance representative in Grand Forks. He's brand new to the area. He's been part of the Grand Forks Red River coaching team already this season, and he wants to help you put together a game plan to protect what needs protecting in your home, whether it's home, auto, farm, life, health. They have you covered with State Farm Insurance and Logan Karski, and you can see where it gets started for Grand Forks Red River. Griffin Hoganson right in the middle of that first line tonight. They'll look to him heavily to create some offense, and then Brecken Holtberg and Cullen Rost doing it back on the back line. And it seems like we've been talking about Cullen Rost for about 5 or 6 years as well, and he's only really been a regular player. This will be his 3rd year now, but Brecken Holtberg and Cullen Ross, not a bad place to get started when you're trying to defend a blue line.
Yeah, a lot of experience back there. Very different players. I mean, Brecken is kind of that stay-at-home, solid defenseman, although we saw him last year really insert himself offensively. He had some big goals late in the season and in the state tournament, but he kind of gives you that offense from the blue line, where Cullen Ross is more that guy who can inject himself up front. He can rush the puck. He's fast. He's quick. You'll see him finding areas in the offensive zone. So different players, they kind of balance each other out. They're not playing together tonight, it looks like, but just having them back there with that experience is a real luxury for Red River.
For the Roseau Rams, Jude Whitrock is going to be the name that really stands out on that list as far as players that are coming back this season. When you took a look through what Roseau had last year coming into this year, I think it was something like 7 out of 9 or 8 out of 10 top scorers for this Roseau Rams team graduated from a year ago, and so they're very underexperienced. And not only that, but their junior varsity was thin tonight. I think they gave up 70 shots on goal to Red River in that junior varsity matchup. So this is a program that's trying to build a little bit, maybe a little bit of rebuild coming into this one tonight. But we hear really good things about Jude Whitrock in the middle of that line. Family's a legacy for Roseau hockey. And you mentioned outside of Tyler George and Abram Waggy that Bowden Hammer is a guy that you're familiar with as well. And so there are some names on this Roseau team that can get some things done for them.
Well, it's not unlike when we see War Odeleth throughout the year over across the river, and sometimes they just have 3 guys and a couple D, and
they get it done. Yeah.
They seem to do just fine. So, if you have a stud line that can play, then you can get your second line and third line to, hey, just play even and let our dogs go. You can be all right.
When you have names like Slukinski and that type of thing, it's pretty easy. If those are one of your 5 guys, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So, yeah.
Chagaby, Slukinski.
Yeah, there you go.
Pilgrim.
Yeah. When you throw some of those names out there, all of a sudden it seems like the game gets a little bit easier, doesn't it? Yeah. But again, watch out for Jude Ritwalk tonight. He'll be the first line center. And Griffin Hoganson, we're expecting a really nice season out of him. And there will be others that fill in throughout the course of the season as well. That's a look at our tools for the game, brought to you tonight by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks, and he's ready to take care of you for the things that need protecting. Talk with him about putting together a game plan for those things. All right, we have a break that we have to take, and we'll do it here. And when we come back in our pregame report, brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment, keys to the game coming up next. So stay with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more next.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for 2.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you tonight from Blue Line Iceplex, formerly known as Eagles Arena. It's the home arena for the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders, and the Rough Riders will host the Roseau Rams this evening in what is the season opener for both teams coming up tonight. Red River coming back after a runner-up performance a year ago in the state tournament in North Dakota and looking to take a step as they start off their regular season tonight. Our pregame report is brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Let's take a look at our keys for the game this evening, and they're brought to you tonight by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. They've got every skate, every puck, every tool that you're looking for at Jarrell's, and trust me, I know. I was just there to get my daughter outfitted for the sport. They got it. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World, and terrific service to take care of you as well. That's what's really impressive at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World, bringing you our keys to the game tonight. For Roseau, learn your identity and maybe take some extra chances tonight. That's something they'll have to do against a good defense this evening, Ryan, if they want to get on the scoreboard. Take some extra chances tonight.
Yep, got to run and gun a little bit. You got a good goalie and a really solid decor. Might have to, like you said, might have to take a swing here and there.
Absolutely. And for Grand Forks Red River this evening, same thing. Learn about your identity tonight and then use the defense, right? You've got a good defensive core. You know it's an advantage. Now you got to use it, which means control pucks. Don't be afraid to take an extra step, I suppose, in your own end. Let those defenders make a play or two down there for a better transition up the ice.
Yeah, if you're the forward group here, just get going up the ice. Let your D do their thing. Get it up to you. They'll be coming behind, but I think for both teams, like you said, it's just kind of figure out what we are this year with a lot of new faces on both sides.
Well, and that's just it, right? I mean, when you've got this many new faces on both sides, it can become extremely difficult to figure out who you're going to be at the beginning of the year. You know where your talent is if you're one of these head coaches, but sometimes finding it playing together, that's the part that's a little bit difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, like we talked about, I think we're going to see, at least on the Red River side, early on, these first 3, 4, 5 games, I think we're going to see some fluidity up front with that team. And even on the D side, too. I mean, who plays best with who's offsets who on the D side. So I think there's going to be a lot of movement.
Absolutely. Well, those are the keys to the game tonight that we have for you this evening, and they're brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. They're taking us through the starting lineups that we have for you for tonight. Let's run down those starting lineups that we have for you this evening as we get ready for this one. First of all, for the Roseau Rams, the starting goaltender tonight is a sophomore. His name is Brendan Simmons. Starting defensive pair is Beck Hammer and Ethan Neville. And the forwards up front, centering the line, is Jude Whitrock with Bowden Hammer on his left and Antone Clint on his right. And the head coach of the Roseau Rams is a guy by the name of Greg Lund in his 5th season with Roseau. For Grand Forks Red River, under head coach Tim Scarperud tonight, starting goaltender is Rylan Carinta. Coming in as the starting D pair, at least to start, Rylan Edmond and Brecken Holtberg. Edmond on the left point, Holtberg on the right point. Centering the top line, Griffin Hoganson with Cale Gruenberg on his left, Caden Ulmer on his right. Hoganson's a senior, Gruenberg's a senior, Ulmer's a junior. Edmond and Holtberg back on the blue line are both seniors, and Rylan Carinta, a senior in the net, and that's really something to watch. Rylan Carinta stepped up, played a monstrous second half last year. Where does he pick up? That'll be a big part of what happens tonight.
Yeah, what a wild story, right? I remember we talked about this last year, but with the way that started last season, if someone would have said in that first couple of weeks, hey, this guy's going to be on the all-tournament team.
Right. Yeah.
What would we have said?
I mean, we'd have wondered. We'd have wondered, right? You know, but he was, in fact, on the all-tournament team a year ago. That's your starting lineup that we have. We'll pause for our national anthem. We're coming back to throw the puck down in this one. It's Red River and Roseau on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
National anthem comes to a conclusion tonight. We welcome you back to what used to be known as Eagles Arena. My broadcast partner, Ryan Coote, says it will always be Eagles Arena, right?
A lot of memories in this old barn. It'll be Eagles forever for me.
I love it. It's now called the Blue Line Iceplex, or the Blue Line Club Iceplex, and obviously I've seen more of this place the last couple of years than I think I've ever seen. Two kids in the youth hockey world. That one on the south end, and this is the North Rink, and the North Rink hosts a lot of half-ice games, and the South Rink has a lot of practices. A lot of stuff going on in here all week.
By the way, next door, the old Blue Line Club Arena looks great.
It does, yeah.
I just walked over there before. I hadn't seen it yet. Someone said it looks really good.
I'll tell you what, youth hockey in Grand Forks has got some luxuries when you talk about things like what they've done. You know, obviously Perper and Gambucci being what it is. These two sheets out at the Icon, they've got really nice facilities, and they do a great job of teaching it as well. So a huge hats off to the people that take on the youth hockey area here in Grand Forks in that particular atmosphere. We're set to go tonight. Grand Forks Red River taking on Roseau. The Riders are the home team in white this evening for those of you on the radio side. Roseau's in green with white tonight. The Riders are in white on top, red breezers, and of course the red numerals and letters of black trim. And we'll see the draw coming up between Jude Whitrock and Griffin Hoganson. Let's throw down another season of high school hockey as Whitrock tries to step through Hoganson and pick up the puck, and Clint will dump this back in for Roseau. It'll cycle back over to the near side wall on the right. Bodenhammer steps in, and a quick shot from the right point that's deflected wide. Picked up on the far edge by Brecken Holtberg and dumped into the neutral zone with a 3-on-2 odd man rush for Grand Forks Red River, and the puck ends up back behind the Roseau net. Riders will vacate, but some forward pressure from Griffin Hoganson on the forecheck disrupts the flow of the puck. Works back out in the neutral zone. Whitrock dishing off to the left. Hammer trying to charge his way and ends up in Carinta's glove. And we'll see a draw coming up here in the Grand Forks Red River zone. Our coverage tonight is brought to you by our friends at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. PS Garage Doors bringing you our game coverage tonight.
Good first shift for that first line for Red River. Had a little bit of a rush there, just mishandled, kind of took away a shot attempt, but three forwards ripping up the ice, and Brecken Holtberg just throws a nice little pass and gets them moving north.
We see Caden Svoboda coming on the ice for the first time for Grand Forks Red River as a defenseman, and this will flow back up into the Roseau zone for an icing call, and so we'll see another draw coming back up in the Red River end with just 45 seconds off the clock here in the opening period. Yeah, Riders got a 3-on-2 odd man. Didn't really know what to do with it. I don't think they expected that odd man rush in that first shift.
No, they didn't, but here we go. I mean, we're already 40 seconds into the game, and we're looking at a bunch of new faces here, Ryan. Blaze Newbert, Mason Breno, two of the guys we're looking at as guys who might need to step up this season and have a big year offensively to help this Rider team out.
Off the draw, puck floats back into the Roseau end. It's up against the end wall, picked up there by Blaze Newbert. He'll try to turn it back out towards the right corner and ends up back behind the net. A turn by Tyler George for Roseau, can't get it out. It's gobbled up left point by Svoboda. Short-sided shot, this will be covered up by Simmons. Reaching down to cover up a blast that came off the left wall by Stetson Brown. And the more we go through these forward lines for Grand Forks Red River, the more you realize, yeah, there are some guys that played some minutes before. They're popping up as familiar names right now.
Yeah, and that's a really good play right there by Stetson Brown. He throws it to Caden Slow at the point and just hangs tight on the wall, gets it right back, takes a good hard shot.
Puck comes back to the left point. Svoboda gets one in. This will be deflected out of play. Caden Svoboda taking a look from that left point off a couple of draws, looking to make something happen. And seems like Red River's putting pucks right on the net immediately. I mean, they're coming right after it with some pressure.
Yeah, especially early in the season, Ryan. Just keep things simple. Get the puck out to the point. Get shots and bodies on net. Get pucks low. Work it to the net. Just try and create some offense early. Keep it simple.
Thor Seeger wins a physical draw, and the puck will come back out to the line. Now it's deflected loose and a rush up ice for Mac Mertens, but it was turned around. Roseau had an opportunity to get a step, couldn't quite get to it. Ethan Neville back defensively, circles one back out to the near side. Tanner Paulson for Roseau up into the neutral zone. He waits to get back onside, then Paulson widens out left wing, absorbs a hit that came from Cullen Rost, and turns the puck back behind the Grand Forks Red River net. This will flow back into the right corner. Out to middle ice, and comes back to Thor Seeger. Seeger puts it up on the right side. Long rush coming in. Seeger trying to get a shot off to the right. And Chase Kulka puts one on net. That'll be covered up by Simmons. We'll see a draw coming up in the Roseau zone.
Another new name, Chase Kulka. I had him this fall. His strengths, Ryan, he's a north-south guy. He's long, he's fast, and he shoots a ton. That's the play he needs to make all year. Just get wheeling and get a look and put that thing on net.
Hoganson versus Whitrock. Puck comes out towards the right point. It was picked up there on the right point by Brody Lucier. So the third pair of defenders comes on the ice for the Rough Riders, and that's where we expect them to be deep. Puck back out high along the line. Alex McDonald tries to hold the offensive end for Red River. Can't quite get it done. Circles it back to Lucier, who will dump it down the right wall. A step back by Simmons to hold things up. Puck collapsed upon. This is Hoganson coming out to the near circle. Back towards the line. McDonald into the left circle. Another short-sided chance. Simmons got it away. Kicked it off towards the right. Come back out towards the right point for Lucier. He dumps it off the half wall. Looks towards the right side for Hoganson, but it was broken up by Whitrock for Roseau. This will work back out towards the line. Riders tried to hold it in. This will be fought free, and Antone Clint trying to turn one up. We may have a whistle behind the play, maybe our first penalty tonight. Let's see, or do we have just an icing call?
No,
or are we going
got
to see a penalty?
here.
Yeah, we're going to see a penalty on this one. It'll be a roughing call.
Hultberg for rough. I don't know if he was the big hit here. I thought that was Grunberg that laid a big hit, kind of out of open
ice. It's Cale
but
Grunberg they're going to get.
Then that was it.
So Grunberg will go into the box for roughing. Time of the penalty will be at 2 minutes and 32 seconds of the opening period. And we'll see a power play for Roseau. Our power play is brought to you tonight by RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com. So a power play for the Roseau Rams to start things off tonight. A roughing call against Cale Grunberg. Riders are able to clear out off the draw. And a rush back to get to this for the Roseau Rams by Ethan Neville, who's back defensively to try to quarterback a little bit of the play coming out. Now Abram Waggy, the second line center, dishing off back behind him. Turn up ice for Tyler George. He gets into the neutral zone, leaves it off the left wall, and we'll see Hal Brelenthin come to a stop and put one in from the left wing. Riders go back to get to it. This will be cleared out by Brecken Hultberg and dumped back into the Roseau zone. Hultberg will be a pretty good penalty killer throughout the course
You know
of
what?
the
He
year.
made a play right there, Ryan, on a zone entry where he just stayed tight and kind of used the blue line to hold Roseau up and kind of forced a dump in that ended up being a clear for Red River. Great little play there.
1:10 left to go, the opening, or actually rather the power play for Roseau. And again, power play brought to you by RBB Electric. This ends up back behind the Roseau net. And Neville's back to get to it, held up by Griffin Hoganson, an aggressive forecheck. And a little bit of a look between he and Caden Ulmer trying to set up an offensive play shorthanded. He'll turn it back to Ulmer in the corner, just a bit too strong. Neville over to the left wall. Hoganson trying to put in a hit on him from behind. Neville turns away from it. Comes to a stop behind his own net, but once again, Hoganson breaks it up. Caden Ulmer tried to skate into position, but Hoganson couldn't find him with a drop pass. Or rather, a power play clock down to 25 seconds. Out in the neutral zone, it's picked up by Tyler George. Here's a 3-on-2, and that's cut off. Cullen Ross got back defensively for the Riders and dumps this right back up in the Roseau end.
Great kill by Red River. I don't think Roseau's had anything set up, and we're 20 seconds left on this thing.
Mason Breno pinning one up against the end wall behind the Roseau net. Riders up in the offensive end, shorthanded, trying to kill off the remainder of the penalty. Breno takes a short step, trying to step free back behind the Roseau net. Puck came out for the Rams for Taden Peterson. Loose in front of their own net again. Neville a turn. Off towards the left side for Abram Waggy, and that will run out the power play clock. The Riders are back to full strength. Jumping out is Rylan Edmond, one of the starting defenders. He'll work it back over towards the left wall for Red River. No score on the All-True scoreboard. 12:15 to play in the opening period, and the Riders on the first penalty kill tonight. Roseau comes away empty-handed on the first power play. Whitrock circling in front of the net wall. We see Antone Clint trying to find a play in the far corner, actually the right corner for Roseau. Riders will take this up and pitchfork it deep into the Roseau end, and we'll see we will not get icing. It'll go back into the far corner, and Taden Peterson picks one up once more. Peterson turns it back out left side, trying for Whitrock. Riders break it up, dump it back into the corner. Caden Ulmer racing back behind the net, coming back out towards the left point. Found Brody Lucier, who will hold the puck in. Lucier dumps it back behind the net. Cale Grunberg trying to find Ulmer rushing. Ulmer, big hit in the far corner. That'll bring the crowd to life. And that's Bodenhammer that pays. Meanwhile, a shot goes just wide of the net.
I think it hit the post.
Came from the right point for Brecken Hultberg, and it may indeed have touched up some iron. But Hultberg can't get the right deflection. This goes loose back into the neutral zone. A toss left side for Bodenhammer for Roseau. He'll lose it back into the Roseau end. 11:15 to play opening period. All-True scoreboard, scoreless. Right now, puck goes loose in the corner. A circle back to it for Griffin Hoganson. Hoganson trying to wrestle it free with some help coming in from behind. Chase Kulka as the Riders are in the midst of a change. Jute Whitrock out at center ice for Roseau. Can't control the puck. It'll go loose to the center circle. Knocked down on a good aggressive defensive play by Stetson Brown coming up to get a body in front of one. Neville for Roseau is back in the left circle. He'll turn away from a hit. Riders try to charge the puck into the far corner, and they get to it. A turn by Chase Kulka off towards the right point for Lucier, and Lucier has it broken up. A step by Mac Mertens coming up the ice in and on his own against Carinta, and Carinta makes a big save for Grand Forks Red River. As a step was gained by Mac Mertens, he went backhand, and Carinta was ready.
Yeah, way to get tested. I mean, that's the first shot of the game, and we're 7 minutes in, and it's a breakaway. But Rylan Carinta stands tall. I mean, he's out aggressive at the top of the crease, takes away a lot of angles. He knew he had help coming on the backside. Great save.
We're going to be talking all about him throughout the course of the year. Does he pick up right where he left off after a great postseason run a year ago? Cullen Ross with a bit of a treacherous hit on Mac Mertens in the far corner. They play through it. This works back off towards the right point for Red River, and the Riders trying to step through some defensive pressure coming up hard. Little short-sided shot coming in on the right side for the Rough Riders. Ends up going wide. Blaze Newbert was there as part of the pressure coming up the ice, and he had help from Mason Breno as center. Puck back to Rost on the right side wall. A step in from behind by Newbert, trying to keep the puck up ice. Newbert able to poke it free. Works back to Neville, though, for Roseau in the left corner of Roseau's defense. He'll cycle back to the near side for Beck Hammer. Hammer turns it off into the neutral zone. This will float back towards the Red River blue line. Picked up by Ross. Then he dumps back into the Roseau end, and they're going to hit an icing call in that situation with the clock down to 9:44 left in period number 1.
Yeah, Cullen just needed to take a couple more steps there. I think he probably hit that puck harder than he wanted to, but he made a great step, Ryan. I don't know if you saw it. Puck cleared, and he comes out of nowhere, and this is what he does so well, is he just reads plays and gets to spots where you don't think that someone's going to be there, and he kept that puck in. Red River had 15 more seconds of zone time because of it.
Rylan Edmond back behind his own net to pick up the draw for Red River. Turns it back into the neutral zone. This works back to the blue line for Roseau, and picked up over there by Ryan Haas. The first time that he's touched the puck tonight for the Rams. Haas turns it back in the neutral zone. Hoganson there tried to squeeze a pass off just a bit past the striped line here at Eagles Arena and Blue Line Iceplex, and so we're headed back into the Red River zone for an icing call.
I'll tell you what, I mean, halfway through this first period, I'm really impressed with Red River right now.
You know, it seems like they've gained inches and feet of ice all the way up. It's just been a lot of pressure on the Roseau end.
Everything is north. Everything is going towards the net. The forecheck has been relentless. They're turning Roseau over like crazy. It's a good start to this game for Red River.
Griffin Hoganson's forecheck has been absolutely amazing on that penalty kill. He was fantastic.
Well, okay, we've seen him play for 3 years, and every time we do a Red River game, I am shocked at how big he is. It says 6'3". He looks like he's 7 feet tall out there. And his reach, I mean, his reach
adds
alone.
Something.
Well, I know, but
no, he's
so tall.
Yeah, and he's physical. That's the next thing, is that you'll get a little bit of a physical lift from him as well. We'll draw in the left circle, the Grand Forks Red River zone. And we'll see Tyler George step in for Roseau to take the draw against the aforementioned Griffin Hoganson. Puck will be dumped back into the Red River end. Quick breakout. They find Caden Ulmer on the right side. Ulmer, a drop pass, looking to come back across ice for Hoganson. Takes the chance, and right there to read it was Brendan Simmons. That's a tough play for Simmons of Roseau to come back over to his right. Red River executed that. Maybe took one extra pass, but that's still a pretty good play by the goaltender for Roseau.
Maybe, but I love the play in general. I mean, you see Caden Ulmer. The second he knows that Red River has possession, he is gone. And you stretch out those D, you create a ton of space up the ice, and in that case, he gets a break on it.
Puck comes back out to the line, held in by Brecken Holberg just barely. Red River doesn't have to get back onside, but that was close back on the blue line. Roseau comes away with possession. Whitrock out at center ice, trying to step his way around Brecken Holberg into the far corner. Holberg disrupts it. Big 2-on-2 hit there, frees the puck. It works back to Rylan Edmond for Red River. Edmond taking a look back up ice, drifting towards the left wall. Hard charging, taking a big hit on the wall from Antone Clint. That ends up freeing Clint of his stick. We're going to see a penalty coming up, and we're going to see an interference call along with the media stoppage that'll be coming our way. So we'll see a penalty coming up against Roseau at the 8:27 mark. It'll be an interference call that will come up against Clint, and that's going to bring us to a media timeout that we'll have for you tonight as well. So we should see our media stoppage here tonight at Eagles Arena and Blue Line Iceplex with 8:33 left of the opening period. On the All-True scoreboard, we are scoreless between the Rams and the Riders. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports, and we're back with more in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of Rough Rider hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Radio, KNOX Live Sports, Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, and Cooper Freege, a former Red River Rough Rider and state champion, on the videography work for us tonight. Roseau goes to a penalty kill. Antone Clint takes an interference call at 8:27 of the opening period. That brings us to our first media timeout of the season, and they handle it just fine. I like it. Let's keep moving up the ice. Here comes Red River in a power play. Brecken Hultberg dropping one off to Hoganson. Cross ice pass to the right. Cullen Ross back to Hoganson in the high slot, who moves around. Whitrock fires at an opening and came up just empty. Caden Ulmer off the wall, turns it back to the point, and that will vacate the zone. The Riders will have to get back on side. Power play brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com. Hoganson left wall looking at Ulmer. Ulmer in the corner, diving back down the goal line. He scored. Oh, no, it went just wide.
I thought he had it.
I thought it hit the back of the net. I saw it come back behind the net. Hey, we're too aggressive in the early going, huh? Pass to Stetson Brown, trying to find his way down the high slot. Actually, rather, Gruenberg. This will come back out in the neutral zone, and Whitrock will get a step for Roseau and turn it back. That net was wide open, Ryan. I thought for sure that puck was going in.
Yeah, the whole way I was waiting for it too, but just must have missed it wide maybe?
Yeah, and there have been a couple of openings in the net in the first minute of this power play. Grand Forks Red River to come back up into the offensive end. It's Cullen Ross, left circle, backhander from a steep angle, may have hit the side of the net. Ulmer trying to dig it down, and a play to clear just gets beyond the gloved hand of Caden Svoboda and back out to the neutral zone. Riders try to gather. Svoboda trying to hold it against the wall on the near edge to keep this puck at least close to getting back in the zone. Clock to 25 seconds left of the RBB Electric power play. Riders back to get to it. Rylan Edmond turning it back behind his own net, and the Riders will look for one more rush on the man advantage. Svoboda dropping it off towards the left wing. This comes in the neutral zone for Stetson Brown. Brown a look, comes back near side, able to find Mason Breno off towards the right point. Svoboda, clock down to 3 seconds on the power play. Off to the top, Breno, wrister just wide of the net. A flail at it by Stetson Brown off the left, and Roseau's back to full strength. Short-sided follow-up comes off the right from Rylan Edmond, and that goes wide of the net as well. Riders still holding on to an offensive edge, but now Ethan Edmond picks it up. Rather not Edmond, but Neville for Roseau. And a 3-on-3 break the other way. He sees a wrister from Antone Clint go wide and roll back out into the neutral zone. 6:10 to play opening period. Shots are 7-1 Red River. We are scoreless on the all-true scoreboard. We make our way down to the final 6 of this first frame. Caden Svoboda back behind the Red River net for the Riders trying to gather. Antone Clint steps in, takes a poke at the puck and can't find contact. Trent Gustafson was there as well for Roseau. This will come back out towards the near side. Riders trying to get up the ice with Blaze Newbert. Newbert drops it through the neutral zone and finds Chase Kulka. Kulka driving one into the far corner. It's off the wall loose. Riders get back to pick it up. Ryan Rykow taking a look back out towards the right point. Got to look at Rykow during the baseball season. He had a very nice baseball season for Grand Forks Red River on the high school side this last spring. Brody Lucier coming back near side looking for McDonald's. He gets into a tussle with Antone Clint, and a pass hits Bowden Hammer on the neutral zone. He's 2-on-1 up the ice with Whitrock and ends up blasting just wide. Whitrock got a follow-up from the left wing, and actually rather the right wing, and it's knocked away back behind the net by Rylan Corinto. Riders back in the neutral zone with 5 minutes left to go. Thor Seeger taking a drop pass, trying to get a snapshot through. Deflected wide by a defender. Tayden Peterson taking in the entire way. Back behind the net for Roseau, Ryan Haas. Coming back out left side, finding Hal Brelenton. Brelenton will turn it through the neutral zone, and this will be covered up by Carinta, and a big hack on Tyler George's legs as he went out towards Carinta. I believe the effort was to, they're going to say protect the goalie, right? Is that it?
Hey, you got a guy screaming at your goalie like that? You better get some wood on him.
Our draws tonight are brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of 8 tires in the region. And a rebounded puck scored by Abram Wagi off a shot from the right point. That will put Roseau on the board first tonight. Wagi will have the first point of the year for Roseau. Wagi hammers it in. It was a bar-down goal off the rebound, and Roseau takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, just an offensive zone draw, just a clean win, a shot. Carinta made the original save. The puck, he looked like he was drifting right, and the puck bounced back left, and wide open net for Wagi to bury that one.
We'll take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and you'll see this goes right off the draw, coming out near side. The wrister comes out. Wagi was right there to bury the rebound. Not much that you could do about that in that situation, and the American Family Insurance replay is brought to you by Tyler Nagel, your agent at American Family Insurance. The assist on the goal will go to Beck Hammer. So it'll be Wagi from Hammer at 12:15. And it's 1-0 in favor of Grand Forks Red River. So the Riders, despite all the offensive pressure in the world, find themselves down a goal in the early going on a bad rebound in front of their own net. Riders come back with possession. Cullen Rost holding one into the Roseau zone. And a hit thrown by Beck Hammer in the corner trying to disrupt that puck. Works back out high. A touch up there by Cale Gruenberg holding the offensive end for Red River. Then a puck lost. A little turnover. Brelenton coming in. His wrister wide of Rylan Carinta and ends up in the left corner of the Red River defensive zone, where we'll see a draw coming up with 3:48 left in the opening period.
Yeah, good pushback by Roseau here. I mean, they were spending a lot of time in their end of the ice. The power plays kind of broke up the flow that Red River had. And there's been a little bit of a push by Roseau. They're getting some chances kind of on the rush a little bit. Not a ton of zone time, but still chances up the ice.
1-0 in favor of Roseau on the all-true scoreboard. Riders coming out with control of the puck, but look to be destined for an icing call here on a play up the ice from Rylan Edmond, intended for Stetson Brown. That will get through, and we'll head back into the Red River zone. Again, our coverage tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for painless shopping. You can find them in their warehouse, 4733 Demers, right on the other side of the I-29 overpass on Demers in Grand Forks. Riders in their own end with 3.5 to go, trying to find their way out. Big hit at center ice, and Mason Breno weaving through traffic and firing a piece for Braden Simmons, and he knocks it off towards the left corner. Puck back out to the point, dumped in by Red River's Rylan Edmond. Turns off towards the fall wall. Mac Mertens tries to play it out. Held up on the right point by Hultberg to hold the zone for Red River. Ends up back behind the Roseau net. Goes over towards the left corner and picked up there for Roseau by Tayden Peterson. Peterson back out into the neutral zone, then loses control, and Newberg trying to come up may have been offside.
He was offsides by about 30 minutes. Got to pull back there. Gain the blue before you go east to west there.
It is the
Mason.
first game of the season, Coach Kuntz.
It is the first game, and you know what? I mean, to be honest with you, that's kind of what we're seeing. I mean, Red River's had a ton of good chances. I love what they're doing, but they've sort of misfired on a couple of plays. They've got early season hands, a couple of pucks that popped off sticks, shots that missed the net, but overall, I like what they're bringing right now.
Roseau trying to get back up the ice off of a draw. You're seeing the Rams gain a little bit more confidence. There's another play right in front of the net for Bowden Hammer, a one-timer that ends up being deflected by Carinta. But Roseau's beginning to take those chances that we talked about in the keys to the game. Starting to spread things out a little bit. They seem to have found themselves. Riders back up ice, down a player actually with some pressure. Ryan Reichow dumps one wide of the net. It comes back to Whitrock on the near side and will flow through the neutral zone. Riders back to get to it. Alex McDonald to turn and turns this back up into the Roseau zone. No icing. Rams will go back to try to pick it up. Beckhammer, who got an assist on that lone goal a couple of moments ago, sends one all the way through everything, and the Riders get an offensive zone draw. 2:15 left to go in the opening period. Boy, it seems like this first period has flown by.
Yeah, it's gone quick. And Red River will have an offensive zone with their top line out. Would be nice for Red River to get one here before the period. I feel like they've been real close on a bunch.
They'll be matched up against the second line for Roseau on this shift. Hoganson will take the draw against Abram Wagi. And Hoganson ends up seeing this one go back to the wall, but a quick pickup by Caden Ulmer. He's been lightning fast tonight. Ulmer has it. Steps up to the high slot, makes a pass right side. Quick one-timer, good angle on it as well from Cale Gruenberg. Kicked aside, though, by Simmons, who saw it coming. And the Rams transition back out. Waggy into the neutral zone, coming down the right side wall, looking to drop one off. He had some help from Tyler George behind him. Riders turn this back into the neutral zone on the rush. It's Gruenberg again. Nice pass back to the right out in front of Simmons on a puck that was mishandled by Caden Ulmer, and Simmons will cover it up.
That was, but boy, was that a good play. I mean, you mentioned it. Caden Ulmer is just flying out there right now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I mean, it's popping off the ice. I mean, when you watch it, it is popping. I'm sure it's popping on the screen, too. Like, you just see this white flash, like, yep, there's Caden again. But great play up the ice, slides it all the way across and gets it back. If he handles that puck, Ryan, I think it's 1-1, but I love the play.
I also like what you're seeing as far as those players complimenting each other. Hoganson, very physical, and Gruenberg and Ulmer showing us some speed. They can take advantage of that throughout the course of the year. You're seeing something you like out of that first line.
Yeah, let the big boy Hoganson clear some space, and other guys can work from there.
There's a couple of quick guys behind him, no question. Hammer comes out of the neutral zone for Roseau, ends up losing a puck back to the Red River line. Riders bring it back up ice. Mason Breno's in, but a player in front of him. Offsides against the Riders. We'll come back out to the Roseau line to draw. Draws brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop, and Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. Whitrock will take the draw against Breno. Breno wins it. It comes back to center ice. Won there by Brecken Hultberg. Hultberg dumping up into the offensive end. Neville over to pick it up for Roseau. Gets back behind his net. Hultberg stands him up. Loose puck picked up by Blaze Newberg. He put it out in front. Couldn't find a man home. A turn up ice by Antone Clint. That will come back to Jude Whitrock. Whitrock ends up losing it. Play towards the net and a shot just wide. And Roseau goes to the wraparound after the initial attempt by Bowden. Hammer goes up just wide. Man, that happened lightning fast and right in the heart of the hash marks.
Real quick. It's just kind of a bad bounce in a sequence of events. And the Red River Rider defenseman falls down. And
now one moves in a wraparound score for Caden Ulmer. Coming back from behind the net on Simmons. Caden Ulmer picks one up off the wall, comes back and wraps it around for Grand Forks Red River, and the Riders have tied it at 1 apiece in the final minute of the opening frame.
I mean, when we watch this one again, it's just what we talked about. That is just Caden Ulmer being fast, beating everybody to a loose puck, and moving so quick that goaltender Simmons couldn't even get across from post to post.
We take a look at it at the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and you'll see right there, that's the first play. Ulmer picks up his own rebound and wraps it around. Heck of a play, individual effort for Caden Ulmer to make it 1-1. Grand Forks Red River comes back to tie this thing up in the final minutes of the first period. We'll get the assist on it for you when we get the look at the scoring, the official scoring in our intermission break, so stay with us for that. 24.5 seconds to go, and we'll see an icing call against Roseau. That's the one thing the building still needs, Rhino, is that sound system. It's kind of tough to pick things up in here, but they'll work on that. They'll get it done for us.
Yeah, in all fairness, it's been bad for 30 years. So. They've tried some things. They're getting there, like you said.
Here's Cunningham trying to make it, hey, they're working on it. And here's Coates.
I just remember practicing in this rink when I played, and the audio that was just, you couldn't hear the coaches. They're yelling. All you hear is just reverberation. It's always been a thing.
Draw in the Roseau zone. Riders pick it up.
Nice
Hoganson with a chance. Simmons knocks it down. It's loose in front of the net. Comes back out towards the near side point. Back to the right circle, and a slip coming up just as Cale Gruenberg got his hands on it. And this works out to Tyler George, who's in by himself. Harassed from behind, and Cullen Ross comes out to stop him. And Ross going to be called for a penalty, but I'll tell you what, that's not a bad penalty to take. First of all, was it a penalty? I thought Ross had a chance to make a play on a puck in that situation, and then to top it off, that's still not a bad penalty to take because someone's coming in all by themselves.
I was waiting.
They got him for hooking.
Yeah, I was waiting for the penalty shot call.
I see. Oh, so you thought it was a penalty. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you get a stick on a guy right when you I mean, it's a good play. I mean, you're pretty limited if you're calling Ross.
I don't know. I thought he was playing the puck. I'm kidding. That's a joke. So the penalty comes at 16:59.7 of the first period. And we'll see a power play brought to you by RBB Electric for Roseau that, barring a 0.3 of a second goal, will take us into the second period. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So we'll go into period number one, or at the end of period number one, with a score of 1-1, Grand Forks, Red River, and Roseau. So, Rhino, you had a chance to see the first period. Some early thoughts on what you saw out there. Probably a lot of what we expected, and maybe Red River a step above, maybe where we thought they would be to come on the ice.
To be honest, I mean, there were a couple defensive breakdowns for Red River. The 2 breakaways, the goal was just a bad face-off. But outside of a couple of breakdowns, I loved everything that Red River did. I got to tell you, I'm more impressed with them than I thought it would be.
Well, they had a very nice first period. So did Roseau, however, trying to replace a number of players there as well. Coming up, it's our intermission report, so stay with us for that. And we'll get to that intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and also by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We'll run down a couple of the highlights that we had in that first period as well, so stay with us. But we'll get to the intermission report coming up in just a couple. So do come back with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the All-True scoreboard after 1. It's Red River 1, Roseau 1. And this is high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands. And everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics, we craft your vision, you watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports tonight from here at beautiful, sunny Blue Line Iceplex here in Grand Forks, where the Rough Riders and the Roseau Rams meet here tonight to get after one another when it comes down to the hockey opener for 2025. We're tied at 1 at the end of the opening period. Our intermission report brought to you tonight by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, all throughout the course of this harvest season. If you need help, you need Grand Forks Welding and Machine. All the repairs that you're looking for, whether you have broken or twisted shafts or holes that need tightening up, they have you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. So stop and see them, 1812 Gateway Drive. And also our intermission report brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks with a system from High Plains Water. No more scaly buildup on your fixtures. Get the chemicals out and the taste into your water from High Plains Water. Better drinking tap water, cleaner laundry with less detergent. All of those are advantages that you'll find at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here this evening. We get through a period of play, Rhino, and, well, we were kind of wondering, okay, what kind of teams will we have here tonight? I think we found out both of these teams have the chance to create some offense. We talked a lot about Grand Forks Red River's blue line in the pregame report. they didn't really spare any offense tonight, got up ice early, created some chances, but Roseau, boy, they really kind of remind you like those good War Road teams, don't they? They find an opportunity to get up ice, and they look to turn a transition into a scoring play lightning fast. So maybe some things that we've come to expect, and at the same time, a step ahead for both teams here tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it in the broadcast. Roseau, I mean, at first it was 7-1 were the shots. Red River was all over them. I think a young Roseau team was a little bit shell-shocked to start that period. And then, again, those power plays kind of broke up the flow a little bit. Roseau got some chances, and then it just started to come. And, again, not a lot of zone time, not a lot of possession in the offensive zone, but big chances early. Transition, breakaways, odd mans. I mean, 5 shots, but they probably had, 3 or 4 that missed the net that were from pretty good angles, pretty good looks. So there's probably more there than the scoreboard is showing. Good pushback by them.
But 13 shots for Grand Forks Red River as well. Really impressed with Griffin Hoganson on the forecheck. Impressed with some of the depth from Grand Forks Red River that they had. And Caden Ulmer, wow, lightning fast out there here tonight.
You know, we saw Caden Ulmer last year come in as a sophomore, and the first half of the year he looked scared, he looked timid, he looked out of place, kind of just surviving. And then about the halfway point, I remember this, something happened where he just got some confidence. And since then, it has just been an upward ascent, and he looks different out there right now. He is so fast.
Well, we had heard he had made a step, and it seems like he's definitely
It might have been
done
a couple steps.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at a couple of the replays that we have, a couple of our highlights from the opening period that we had for you tonight, and obviously both goal-scoring affairs that we had. We get it started tonight with a goal coming from Roseau, and again, just a bad face-off, as you heard Ryan Kuntz allude to here. A shot comes in, a bounce went the wrong way, and it's Antone Clint that comes up with the opening goal tonight for Roseau to bury that one. But Grand Forks River comes back, and it's Caden Ulmer. Ulmer coming around the net. It's his own shot. He gets his own rebound, turns around and tucks it in, wrapping around and coming back on the short side for Grand Forks Red River. And that was a look at our highlights that we had in the opening period of play here tonight. And Grand Forks Red River ties it up at 1 apiece. But you saw there again, bad bounce. However, credit to Roseau in that situation for looking for some offense, being right place, right time. And then Caden Ulmer just making a great individual effort. That was a heck of a play for Caden Ulmer.
Yeah, and I mean, Caden probably could have had, 2 or 3?
Yeah, there were a couple of close opportunities for him out there.
And we talked about Roseau kind of missed the net on some good looks. I think Red River, maybe not missed the net, but Caden Ulmer had that backside where he cut across and didn't go in. They had 2 or 3 cross-ice passing plays, looked like they were going to turn into something, and then early season hands, they kind of fumbled the shot away. You know, Red River could have 3, 4, 5 more shots as well, and a couple more goals.
Absolutely, yeah. So there was some offense there. Shots on goal, 13-5. Scoring plays that we had in the opening period. It was Abram Waggy picking up the goal at even strength. I had that. We saw it on the replay. I thought that was Clint that got it. They have Waggy as number 21. Let's go ahead and show the replay again.
I thought it was Waggy, wasn't it?
I thought that was scored by number 11.
Oh, you're saying the score sheet has somebody else.
Yeah, I believe they have Waggy for the goal for Roseau. Even strength goal, the assist from Beck Hammer. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it again.
No, I think that's
on our American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. I thought this was number 11 in front of the net. So, shot there. Oh, no, it is number 21, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Far be it from me to question. Okay, so it was Waggy with the goal. My apologies, folks. Waggy with an assist from Beck Hammer. That came at 12:15. And then at 16:18 of the period, Caden Ulmer with an assist coming from Cullen Ross. Ulmer making a terrific individual effort on that. Cullen Ross came up ice as well. You know, we saw Cullen Ross get involved in a couple of offensive plays. That'll be a nice little stretch for Red River because Ross has that pesky attitude towards him. He can get up the ice and be a little disruptive, can he?
I'll tell you what, if there's one word to describe Cullen Ross, it's involved. Involved in the offense, involved in the hitting. He is involved in everything.
He wants to be involved, absolutely.
Loves it.
That's your first period summary, and it's brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Second period action is on the way in a couple of moments, so we invite you to stay with us as we continue our coverage of high school hockey tonight. It's Roseau and Red River tied at 1 on our all-true scoreboard, and our coverage continues next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue-Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
Our intermission report tonight brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water. Your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We're through 1. Your score is 1-1. Grand Forks, Red River, Grand Forks, or I should say rather Roseau, on our all-true scoreboard tonight. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, at our videography work, Cooper Freegee. We have, 2/3 of the broadcast crew has Red River roots. I just thought I'd mention, right?
It's true.
It is true, yeah. I'm the one that doesn't, but then I didn't play hockey. Do you know how confusing it is? So tell me about the tape ball. What the heck, Rhino? Tell me about the tape ball. So my kid's into this now where, you tape up your socks.
Yep.
Okay, and then every practice, every game, you take your tape off and you accumulate it in some sort of ball to see who's got the biggest tape ball at the end of the year. This is a thing?
Well, it used to be just a weird kid thing, and I know that because my brother had a giant tape ball in his bag with 20 pounds. I'm like, what? But I don't know. Do they all do it now? I don't see it. Maybe at the younger levels. It's a thing.
We know from our friends in Northwood that it landed in Northwood just before it landed in Grand Forks Youth Hockey, but now it's landed in Grand Forks Youth Hockey as well. The tape ball has become a thing.
I don't see it with my guys. But
okay,
at the youth level, yeah, maybe. But it's I've seen it before. Like I said, my brother had a giant tape ball in his bag. It was like 3 years worth of tape.
I mean, they're 10, so they're going to do some stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I really enjoyed the practice last a couple of nights ago when the score was 67-41. I can't take it anymore. 6-7-4-1. By the way, Roseau ices the puck. Let's get started. A second period underway.
That's the night I saw you at the rink.
Yeah,
I was wondering why. What's 4-1?
Oh, it's the antithesis of 6-7. Okay. Apparently 4-1. Yeah, me too. I tapped out on this a long time ago. So Roseau ices it on the power play. We start off the second period. Power play for Roseau, brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, online. Cullen Ross takes a hooking call at 16:59 of the first period. And Antone Clint coming up the ice for Roseau to get up into Red River's end to try to set things up on a power play cycle. Whitrock coming back to Clint on that far wall. This will come back to Ethan Neville. Neville off to the near circle. Top of it taken by Taden Peterson. Off to Neville again on the right side. He'll be pressured a bit. Turns it back down the wall by Clint. Pretty good cycle right now for Roseau. Neville taking a chip pass, turning it back off towards the near edge for Peterson. Floats back behind the net. They get a chance, and Clint will score. Antone Clint out of the right circle on a really, really solid power play cycle for Roseau, and the Rams will take a 2-1 lead in the power play goal.
Yeah, it looked like Red River was doing a pretty good job on the kill. I mean, you talked about the puck possession was good. Roseau was moving the puck up top, but it was a lot of just kind of flip passes. It looked like nothing was clean and slow, right? Red River's doing a good job, but just a quick breakdown, and you'll see it here. They just get it down low, get it to the side of the net.
American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and this is just the back end of that cycle. They powered it out, and they finally found the opening bottom of the circle, and Antone Clint was there and ready to bury that one, and he does. The time of the goal at 51 seconds on the power play. Power play brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent, and it's 2-1 in favor of Roseau. So 6 shots, 2 goals tonight for the Rams. That one earned on the power play. The other a bad face-off bounce that turned into a goal for Roseau. And the Rams take a 2-1 lead. And the puck back in Red River's end again with some pressure coming from Roseau on the end of the power play. Hal Brelenthin turns it back into the neutral zone, and it's dumped in. Slend up wide back behind the net. Cullen Ross trying to charge to it, but Brelenthin back quickly. Another chance out in front of Carinta. He kicks that one away. Big, tall Abram Waggy, who scored the first goal, comes up with a chance in deep. Hoganson sidestepping a defender into the neutral zone. Now gains the Roseau end. Little backhand flip just wide of Simmons in the crease. Puck comes back out towards the left point. Hoganson circling into the neutral zone for the Riders. Looks to turn back up on the near side, jumps through the right point, got free again, and a puck swept off the stick. Beck Hammer stepping in for the defensive play. A broken twig on the ice as well, while Hoganson continues to dance his way through defenders, put one out in front of the net. Simmons kicks it aside. Griffin Hoganson had the puck for about 30 seconds on his own. Puck back towards the left point, a look by Alex McDonald. Puts it back behind the net. A turn, Gruenberg trying to widen out, puts one short-sided, had Hoganson collapsing, couldn't quite find him. Back towards the left wall again, and now Waggy steps in for the Rams and tries to clear. It's held on the left side by McDonald. The penalty coming up against Roseau. So the Rams will touch it up, and it will be Roseau going into the bin at 14:32 left, 2:28 of the period. And the Riders will have a chance on the man advantage to try to even things up.
They did a great job. A Roseau player broke his stick, so now you're playing, 5 on 4.5. And Red River really took advantage. Roseau couldn't clear the puck. When you got a guy with no stick and that shift starts to get long, man, penalties almost always coming.
Tyler George will take the penalty for hooking. Time of the penalty at 2 minutes 28 seconds. And it's a power play brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com. So the Riders looking for the equalizer as they trail by a score of 2-1 on the All-True scoreboard. Riders back into their own end to pick things up and set up the power play rush. Off the left side, it works out to Stetson Brown. Actually, Mason Breno up into the offensive end with Brown behind him. Turn back to Svoboda on the high slot. Now Breno again on that left wall. A stop, and he lost handle of the puck. This will float back out in the neutral zone. Picked up there by Svoboda, who backs up to his own line to try to reestablish position, and now back in his own slot as he comes back towards the right. Able to dish this back up the ice, finding Rylan Edmond. Edmond sidestepping a pair of men, gets into the corner, puts it out in front. A little chip that was there, just missed. Braze Newbert was in the vicinity, couldn't find it. Back towards the left corner. Brown with a short-sided chance. Got through, but deflected high. Back behind the net again. Newbert trying to feed out in front. He had Edmond there, but the puck will get by everyone and drift back into the Red River end.
Yeah, some decent looks here, Red River, but a couple of misfires too. Just mishandling the puck right there. I think Newbert tried to ring one to the defenseman that wasn't there. Kind of early season stuff.
Caden Almer, and we'll see a whistle and a penalty coming up against Red River. A hit against Antone Clint of Roseau, and one of the Riders going to turn this into 4-on-4 for interference.
Yeah, looked like, who did they give it to?
Svoboda.
Svoboda just tried to set a pick for Almer, and just a little too much on the pick.
Time of the penalty will be at 3:36. So 3:36 of the second period. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for 52 seconds. And back to even strength for both of these teams now as the Riders give away half of their power play opportunity. Caden Almer back behind the ice. With a guy like Almer on the ice, you can take advantage of 4-on-4.
This could be a really good opportunity for
He
Almer.
gets up the ice, fires it, it goes just high and up over the bar. Hoganson trying to maintain position. and turns one back into the neutral zone. Cullen Rost backpedaling, looking for an opportunity to send this back up the ice. This will be too strong. I think Cullen forgot he wasn't on penalty kill. This was even strength due to 4-on-4, and you can't do that.
He did. He just looked up at the clock and kind of shook his head a little bit, like, my bad.
Coverage of our matchup tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Devils Lake, Grand Forks. The PS stands for Perfect Service. They have you covered with perfect service for any make and model of garage door at PS Garage Doors. Puck back out to the right. Waggy taking a look towards the near side for Roseau. Neville back off towards the right point. Hammer a look in. Stops in front of Waggy, and the Riders collapse upon him. Puck goes loose towards the near side. Breno coming up, leaving it off on his left. Brecken Hultberg charging in, gave it back to Breno on the doorstep, but Breno couldn't hold it, and Waggy turns it away for Roseau as the green and white comes back from our right to left and up into the Red River zone. Waggy a stop-and-go wrister from just inside the blue line. It deflects wide. He picks up his own miss, comes back towards the near edge, and went looking for Tyler George, who took the penalty for Roseau a moment ago. This will put the Rams on the power play as George returns to play. George has it, evade his stick, and end up back in the neutral zone. Beckhammer backing up to it. Turns it off towards the near side. It'll go back to center ice, and Thor Seeger trying to step through the defense for Red River. Drifts it back into the Roseau zone. Neville takes a look up the ice. Off the left side, was able to find Tyler George, and George will dump it in. Behind the Red River net, Brecken Hultberg backing up, turns this back through the neutral zone. Riders can dump now with 25 seconds left of Roseau's power play. They'll clear. Rams back in their own end, looking to play one out. Comes back towards the right for Neville. Chip off the wall, back up the ice, and they'll find connection with Tyler George. George off towards the near side. A charge in, and Taden Peterson brings it back up for Roseau. Turns it back off towards the far side wall. Neville stepping through some contact, and Brelanthan got a shot away from the right wall. Corenta kicks that loose, and the Riders will clear right at the end of the penalty kill. They got rid of that just when they needed to. And Red River's back to full strength. Still 2-1 Roseau on the all-true scoreboard. Loose puck left side. Cale Gruenberg gets to it. Ulmer got turned around coming into the slot. And the puck will go loose, and it works back to Jude Whitrock, who steps up the ice, tries to toe drag a puck into the Red River zone. Gruenberg responds, as does Red River's Brody Lucier defensively. Cullen Rost in the circle, reaching back for the puck, can't find it. Up and over Hoganson. Too strong for Griffin Hoganson to get a handle on it. And that's going to bring us to a media timeout tonight. Media stoppage with 10:51 to play second period. It's 2-1 Roseau on the all-true scoreboard. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel and more Red River High School hockey next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Media timeout, 10:51 to play second period. 2-1 Roseau on the all-true scoreboard. Roseau with a goal from Antone Clint and Abram Waggy. Caden Ulmer has the lone counter tonight so far for Red River. Shot from the right wing, actually right point, from Taden Peterson, and Rylan Corenta will sit on top of that one and will draw again coming up in the Red River end.
Roseau getting some chances on these faceoffs, Ryan.
Yeah. They've seemed to find something to get clean through on those too, which is concerning to a little extent. Cullen Ross chipping out to the neutral zone, and it'll be sent back up the ice by Caden Ulmer. Loose puck back behind the Roseau net. It'll circle back out towards the right. Taden Peterson trying to break this back up the ice. Jude Whitrock was there. Bowden Hammer tried to throw a stick at it as well, but the Riders worked this back to the neutral zone. Gruenberg trying to chase a loose puck back behind the Roseau net, and Cale Gruenberg stays right with it. Ulmer a touch on a loose puck. Now Hoganson gobbles it up. He'll turn it back to Ulmer on the right wall. Off to Rost. Tries to drift one through, looking for a chip that time from Hoganson. Again, the right setup They just can't get the touch, and then Clint takes a hit from Hoganson.
Yeah, that was a really nice play by Red River. I mean, if Hoganson turns his blade a little bit more, that thing's in the back of the net. Good play.
Puck comes back towards the left wall, the Roseau defensive zone. They'll take it back behind their own net. Whitrock trying to pull it out. Correction, not Whitrock there, but instead Tatum Peterson. Peterson in the neutral zone. This one's just left behind. Caden Svoboda steps up. Wrister that goes wide of the net. Hoganson circling over to pick it up on that right wall. Turns it back behind the net. Peterson again trying to sweep it out. And the point's held left side by Rylan Edmond. Back out in front. Riders had some pressure trying to come down the slot. Thor Seeger, Ryan Rykow were both there. Neither could get to the loose puck, and Rylan Edmond will turn it back into the neutral zone. Riders up the ice with Chase Kulka. Loose again to the neutral zone, and once more picked up by Brecken Holtberg, and now an offside call coming up against the Rough Riders. That will stop us with 9:22 left to go in the second period. Tomorrow, it's boys hockey. The East Grand Forks Green Wave. I don't know if you heard. They had a 500 team that won the state championship last year. An unbelievable end of the season run last year.
That's as wild as it gets.
Yeah, it was. It was a great time to watch as well. Tomorrow they take on Delano in their season opener. Another penalty coming up against Grand Forks Red River. Roseau gets a shot away in the form of Paulson. And the delayed call coming up here that's going to lead to Red River without a stick. Brecken Holtberg just reaches down and picks up the puck. Hey, it's one way to touch it up. And we're going to see a holding call coming up against Red River that will put Roseau back on the RBB Electric power play.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing for Red River that you just got to kind of avoid here is these penalties. Just really took Red River out of the flow.
This one's going to hurt. It's Holtberg.
Yeah,
one of your better defenders. So Holtberg for holding. Time of the penalty will be at 7 minutes and 56 seconds of the second period. Puck dancing in front of the Red River net with an opening. Riders are able to clear it out. This will be tossed back up ice by Stetson Brown. He's got a charge with Mason Breno coming up shorthanded. Breno reaches after the puck, can't find it. Neville will turn it away for Roseau. Works back up into the neutral zone. Tyler George coming back near side. Waggy looking to steer from the top of the left circle, and now he'll set up the power play. Look, they were very good in the power play last time. Waggy gets a shot away after sidestepping a defender out of the high slot. Works it back to Neville on the right point. One-timer dialed up and deflected. Chance from Tyler George, and the Riders got a defensive look in front of it. I think it was Breno that deflected the shot. This will flow back into the Roseau zone off a deflection. Body thrown, and Cullen Ross will pick up a loose puck for the Riders and very quickly clear this up the ice and on net. And that's going to actually force Simmons to reach down and cover it up with a charge coming in from Thor Seeger. Not a bad play for Red River.
No, not, because they were trying to change. And the last dump and they had, Simmons came out and threw that back up the ice, and two Riders who were trying to change had to come back. Obviously, second period long change, they couldn't get off the ice. So that actually really does benefit Red River.
So the Riders get an offensive zone draw. 1:05 left of the RBB Electric power play for Roseau, and a wrister coming off the left point from Rylan Edmond that's deflected up into the air. Puck goes loose in the corner, and a duel for control out of the circle. Roseau will win it. Comes back out with Jude Whitrock on the left point. Whitrock stood up as he got into the Red River end. Brody Lucier was waiting for him. Hoganson takes a tumble over Whitrock's stick. Whitrock will turn it back behind the net for Antone Clint. A rotation back to the point for Neville. Now Clint on the right wing. Clint stepping up towards the high slot, turns it back. Whitrock circle, fire. Corinta knocked it away. Rebound loose in front of the net. A dig battle. Whitrock digs it out. Clint right circle, down to the doorstep for a chip for Bodenhammer, and he chipped it just wide. Back out to the wall for Tatum Peterson. Circles back through. Off to the right, Clint again. High slot to Neville. Neville with a one-timer that's poked aside by Corinta on a stick save. That'll go into the webbing behind the net, and we'll draw with 7:18 left of the second. 2-1 in favor of Roseau on the Ultra scoreboard.
Another fortunate bounce there for Red River for Corinta to get that puck into the netting to get a change. This Roseau power play is starting to heat up a little bit, Ryan. I mean,
it's good.
They just kind of put you to sleep a little bit with a couple passes, and then before you know it, they're kind of sitting back door with a really good shot on net.
You know, you talked a little bit about systems tonight in the pregame report with Tim Scarperud, and it seems like Roseau kind of came back knowing what their systems were, because these last two power play looks, everybody's been exactly where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there.
Yeah, and then conversely, Red River has really misfired on theirs.
Whitrock coming up the ice, had an opening after Clint got him the puck. Whitrock will stop in the corner. Clint trying to cut his way in front of the net. Quick turn and fire by Bodenhammer. He's been snake bit tonight. A few good opportunities for him. He hasn't been able to take advantage. Puck coming back out into the neutral zone. Newberg trying to clear it up for Red River. Charging to the far side. Loose high slot. Thor Seeger trying to step through a defender. Puck was deflected. Newberg comes back to it. Seeger got it again. Comes off towards the right wing. Cullen Ross trying to get a shot away. It's deflected into the corner. Battle for control there. Seeger stepping in. A touch there. We'll have a whistle and a puck up against the wall. That will put us in the offensive zone for Red River for a draw. Brought to you by our friends at Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-owned and operated promotional shop, and brought to you tonight as well by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region.
Red River needs to get back to 5-on-5 here, Ryan. Just play some minutes and get back in the flow. I think they've got away from what they did really well in the first period in this second.
It's been a little disorganized for Red River here in the second.
Really has.
Puck coming off towards the right side for Cale Gruenberg. He'll step down against pressure from Beck Hammer in the corner. Fighting for control of the puck there. Works back to the point, and a toss in front of the net. Hoganson had a chance with an open net, and he couldn't finish it off. Turns it back out towards the left point for Rylan Ekman. Just bounced off of Hoganson's stick as he came laterally across the blue paint. Back into the neutral zone for Hultberg, and he'll dump it in. Under 6 to play, second period. Next dead puck is immediate stoppage. 2-1 in favor of Roseau over Grand Forks Red River. Puck back out to the point. Picked up there by Hultberg. He surveys his options. Comes back across the high slot. They tried to dial up Hoganson for a one-timer right circle. He'll turn it back towards the point. Hultberg waiting to take control. Does. Puts one just straight into traffic. It's out loose. And back behind the net, a score. It may have been Hoganson that comes up with a play. A gritty area goal right in front of the net. It's not going to be Hoganson. That'll be Ulmer with
Ulmer
his
again.
second goal tonight.
I have no idea. When we watch this replay, there's 2 or 3 Roseau guys who literally form a wall, soccer style. How did this get through?
Gets through there, then knocked down. And boy, it looked like Hoganson was there, but that was actually Ulmer on the back end just digging at the loose puck. And replay brought to you tonight by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. But hey, that's Caden Ulmer staying with it right on the goal line, just looking for some garbage, and he dumped it in.
Yeah, I think that's a shot that Simmons just didn't see. Like I said, he had 2 guys out to block that shot. It got through, and he didn't see it. And again, great play by Ulmer to just stick with it and be in the right spot.
Ulmer's second goal tonight ties things up at 2 on the all-true scoreboard as Red River digs one back. And that's, I'll tell you, Ryan, there's so many positive things to say about that play. Waggy coming up the ice, odd man rush, and one left up and over the crossbar coming from Tyler George, and we'll see a whistle and a draw coming up. So many good things to say about that play. How often have you and I talked about Grand Forks hockey players, Central and Red River both, early in the season trying to toe drag, beat people, one-on-one plays? That's a team effort right there. Just keep digging for a loose puck and see if you can find one. We don't care how you score it. That's a positive effort to see from Red River.
That's the kind of goal that you can always manufacture that goal, right? You can always get shots on net and go for rebounds.
We have a media stoppage with 5:10 left second period. It's Red River and Roseau tied at 2. Back with more next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. And, let's talk about the elephant in the room while it's 2-2, Ryan. We have media timeouts this year in Grand Forks, so when you come to Grand Forks, you get an extra shift once in a while out of your top-end guys, so that little extra break. That does matter into a game when it's a big game, doesn't it?
It sure does. I mean, we always talk about the state tournament, and we know that coaches plan around that, and we see a little bit different rotation with their lines. So absolutely, it makes a difference.
I like it. You'll see coaches getting used to it, and we were very thankful to see when we asked for a couple of media timeouts during the game, and the school said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to use the state tournament plan. That's just what we're going to do. And I'm like, okay, that's great because it works for us at the state tournament. And the coaches have embraced it. We saw it in football. We saw it in volleyball. And we've enjoyed having it. A big thank you to the schools for being flexible with us as we continue to partner with the Grand Forks Public Schools to cover the sports efforts here in Grand Forks. Abram Wagi for Roseau up into the offensive end. The Riders tie it at 2 a couple of moments ago on the second goal of the night for Caden Ulmer. And Red River trying to dig one out of their own end as Roseau responds out of the media stoppage with some vigor off the end wall. Cullen Ross turning it back up into the neutral zone. That will flow through. A retreat and a pickup by Beckhammer along the line for Roseau, and he'll turn it back into the Red River end. Taken by Rost back behind the net. He dumps off the high glass. That just barely caught the lip of the high glass and stayed in play. And they're going to call icing here against Red River with 3:56 to play in the second period.
Yeah, we're just seeing some things in this period that we didn't see last period. I mean, right there, Red River has 3 swings at a breakout. They just throw pucks. They're lost in the neutral zone. The puck's right back in. They get it back. They try again. It's right back in. First period, it was 1 pass and they're up the ice. And we're just not seeing that clean breakout, clean plays up the ice. It's just a little bit off this period for the Riders.
Back towards the point. Puck picked up by Ryan Haas for Roseau, and that's dumped out of play. I suppose that you have some adjustments that are made after the end of a period, and you got a great game plan to start a game. And then when a team goes in the locker room and changes a few things up, sometimes it's tough to recognize what you're seeing and react to it.
But even on that last little sequence, Red River had looks. They just didn't have guys in the right spot. They didn't make the right decisions, and we weren't seeing that a period ago.
Whitrock to Haas into traffic in front of the net. That whistles over the bar. Puck comes back off to Taden Peterson back in the far corner. Wrestling match for control there. Step in, and good play by Cale Grunberg. Drops this one off for Ulmer. 3-on-2 odd man. Roseau catching up, though. They feed Hoganson. And Hoganson unable to come up with it cleanly with a chance. He'll turn out of the corner. Drives his way back towards the net. Tries a little backhand flip. Ulmer chases that loose puck across the crease as well, but can't find it. And back behind the net, this is wrestled for by Ryan Haas, who will turn it back out to the point. Picked up there by Alex McDonald for Red River. Drive into traffic, loose puck back behind the goalie again. Hoganson slaps at it, and it's deflected by a defensive player. Back to Hoganson on the far side. Turn in front of the net. Gruenberg feeds Ulmer, and a big play by Simmons coming back over to the right to take that one away. Oh boy, they get Simmons a round of applause. You see Anton Klint at the end of that play congratulating his goalie in the corner. That had Red River goal written all over it.
That's got to be an early save of the year contender. But I don't know if you saw the play by Brody Lucier at the point. So sophomore playing his first varsity game. He picked that one out of the air. And a great play, just shortened the stick, picked it out of the air, knocked it down, sent it out front for the 2-on-0. That was his first assist that Simmons just robbed.
That was it was an unbelievable play by Simmons and a great play by Red River to get the setup there. Big hit out in front of the net. This turns into a breakout for Roseau. It'll be picked up there by Ethan Neville. Neville turning it off towards the near side. Puck turned loose. Ryan Edmond got to it for Red River. Back into the neutral zone, then lost again. Tyler George coming off towards the right wall, rushing in for the Rams. Drops it into the corner for Hal Brelanthan. Off near edge, taken there again by Ethan Neville. Neville trying to dump it back out in front. Again, Holtberg's over to pick it up for the Rough Riders. He'll turn it back left side for Ryan Rykow. Break out through the neutral zone for Chase Kulka. Kulka trying to chase it down. Simmons steps out of the crease and backhands it to Beckhammer in the far corner for Roseau to try to get it back out of the Roseau end. Neville again stepping through traffic. Puck knocked loose. A step by Chase Kulka looking to get to it. Up the ice, quick turn, trying to drag to the backhand. Mason Breno had some room in front of him to work with and instead tried to take that one individually. And it was deflected away.
Great stick by Simmons on that play.
He's been nice. This is a sophomore goaltender for Roseau tonight, everybody. Out in front of the net, another flail for a loose puck. Simmons reaching at it, but it's still loose. A reach in from behind coming in from Breno, just waved at it falling down. And somehow Simmons comes up with a cover for Roseau to keep that one from going in.
Yeah, a couple big saves. We just talked about the breakaway or the half breakaway by Breno there. He tries to cut across the net, but Simmons, first of all, is in position, didn't give Breno much to shoot at, forced him to try and go across the net, and then was ready with that stick and just clipped that play, and then finds the puck through a scramble there. I think he made a couple of saves and covers one up. Good sequence for Simmons.
100 seconds left of the second period, and it's 2-2. Red River picks up a loose puck, high slot, turn, Breno, and gloved up nicely by a little flash and pimp from
Showed
Brendan
that
Simmons.
one off a little bit.
He did.
The old Statue of Liberty, we called that back in the day.
Hey, you're going to make one like that, and you just made the save you made a couple of minutes ago on a 2-0 in front of you. You deserve to pimp one a bit, huh?
Yeah, he's feeling it now. Red River maybe want to get some bodies in the paint a little bit.
Yeah, that's how they scored the second goal.
Disrupt him.
They had everybody in the paint in the second period, or in that second goal. Tied at 2, 90 seconds to play on the All-True scoreboard. Riders, the last to score. They've outshot Roseau tonight 25-12. Roseau's had some chances that aren't shots, but they've been chances nonetheless. Peterson turns one back up the ice for the Rams. Back behind the net, Cullen Ross for Red River. Takes it off the wall. That one fed to Stetson Brown. Back to Ross, looking for a breakout. Into the neutral zone. Blaze Newbert will chip this free. Back to get to it, Ryan Haas for Roseau. Backing his way from pressure. Off to the far side for Clint. Great pass across the ice. Hammer's got an angle coming in. Good defensive play by Ross, and then you'll see Corinta reaching back. And now we got a little back and forth going on after the play, after Hammer put a stick underneath Corinta's glove, and Caden Svoboda took some exception, and they're not done jaw-jacking with each other as they get ready for a draw on the Red River end.
Yeah, you had Svoboda and Rost out there, so if you're Roseau, that's not the combination you want when you're going to poke at a loose puck, because those two are waiting for it. But
I'll tell you what, we saw as they were clearing out, Griffin Hoganson was right next to a couple of those Rams. Griffin Hoganson looks like Conan the Barbarian out there right now. Did you see that? He was a helmet taller than everybody else.
Even this Waggy that she's next to right now is a taller
and he's
player.
A tall guy.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Caden Ulmer gets the step. Ulmer's in. He scores. Top shelf. Caden Ulmer going bar down on a breakaway goal for Grand Forks Red River, and it's a Hattie for 17. Caden Ulmer makes it 3-2, Red River by 1.
Boy, that's a crafty little move, isn't it? And that's kind of what Caden Ulmer does when he gets on a breakaway. Nothing's hard. Everything is just out of reach. Watch him just tuck this one like he knew he had it the whole time.
A step right between two defenders, just
shot.
Like beating the safeties on a post route and bar down. Unbelievable.
Just let me put this right upstairs here.
He is having a season, folks. American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay makes it 3-2. It's a hat trick tonight for Caden Ulmer, and the Riders have their first lead this evening. Back on the neutral zone, Hoganson a chip up the ice. Neville back to cut it off, but Ulmer knocked it away, and then Ulmer goes looking for Neville to try to pay him a visit. And we'll see Hoganson get the puck in front of the net. Now Ulmer does, and Grunberg dials up a one-timer that was deflected. Whitrock is able to pull it free for Roseau and widens out to the far wall. Chips off the glass, and Holtberg's back to pick it up for the Riders. Toss back to the neutral zone. Whitrock takes one away in a takeaway. Whitwalker Wister kicked aside by Corinta, making the save with the stick hand. Used the glove to do it. And Gruenberg just took 3 jabs. What's going on over there? Antone Clint over the top with a couple of jabs into the back of Gruenberg, and the officials step in to settle that one out, but that was not just hitting. That was some punching at the end of the second period, and that's how the period will come to a conclusion. I don't know if we're going to see any penalties enforced here or not.
Sounds like we're just going to go. Just get off the ice, and we'll see you in 12 minutes.
It looks like that's going to be the case. There could have been some penalties exchanged there, but in the long run, everybody's going to be free to come out and start the third period. Grand Forks Red River rallies from down a goal to grab the final 2, and all by Caden Ulmer here in the matchup tonight. And after 2 periods of play, your score on the All-True scoreboard is the Rough Riders 3 and the Roseau Rams 2 as we head to our intermission report. Our intermission report again brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. It's 3-2 Red River with 17 minutes to go in the season opener tonight. On the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, we're back to start our intermission report coming up in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and business.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports Tonight. Coming to you tonight from the Grand Forks Blue Line Iceplex here in Midtown Grand Forks. Grand Forks Red River leading Roseau by a score of 3-2 as we make our way to our second intermission tonight. Intermission report is brought to you this evening here on KNOX Live Sports by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Get a system from High Plains Water and enjoy better tasting water that's better for your home as well. Appliances that are going to last longer, no more of that scaly buildup, and clothes cleaner with less laundry. Remember, those things save you money. Take the taste out of it, or put the taste into your water, take the chemicals out. High Plains Water and Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The men of steel when it's time to move this season. And it's been time for a while, but it continues. There's still work to do. Broken or twisted shafts, holes that need tightening. Grand Forks Welding and Machine has you covered. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel at 1812 Gateway Drive. Riders leading 3-2. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here tonight from Blue Line Iceplex and Eagles Arena. And, well, what can you say? Caden Ulmer, we had heard, okay, he's a step above where he had been before. We started to see it almost immediately tonight in the first period with his speed. Now he's starting to make some plays as well, and he's kind of been a one-man wrecking show tonight for Grand Forks Red River as Roseau's played a good game just trying to contain him.
Yeah, the irony here is that Caden Ulmer, I mean, the strength of his game is usually not goal scoring. He's more of a playmaker.
Sure.
Well,
he's
tonight,
making plays.
Oh, he's done that too. I mean, when I think of Caden Ulmer, I don't think of hat tricks. I think of, hey, this kid had 4 assists tonight.
Sure.
But I was telling Cooper in the intermission that he doesn't miss on breakaways. I mean, he's a high percentage breakaway guys. He was one of our shootout guys last year for Team ND. He made that breakaway look so easy, and that's what he always does.
Yeah, he made it look pretty good. Hit the top bar with it. Roseau continued to do Roseau things, though, and the one thing in the second period that showed us what they're about, their power play could be absolutely lethal this season. They executed it to perfection a couple of different times.
Power play was good. I thought the first half belonged to Roseau. I thought Red River was fortunate. It was only 2-1. Corinta made some saves. Roseau misfired on a couple chances. Red River was getting kind of pushed around, but they were also kind of creating problems for themselves, just being sloppy. They got away from their game plan, but we saw in the second half for the last 8-9 minutes of that, whatever it is, Red River kind of got back to it. 5-on-5, simplify, get the puck deep, get the blue line, and then once they did that, then the opportunities started to open up, and we started to see Red River get chance after chance. And again, now maybe Roseau's a little fortunate it's only 3-2 because Red River had some great looks, including that backdoor save by Simmons. That should have been in.
26-13 shots on goal advantage as well as we take a look at some of the highlights that we had from period number 2, brought to you again by High Plains Water and Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Like we mentioned, Caden Ulmer, a big part of this here in the period, but it actually gets started with Antone Clint making a big play for Roseau. This is Clint just coming off, and this is this power play cycle that we talked about. They went all the way around the ice twice. Clint scores out of the bottom of the right circle to make it 2-1, capitalizing on a power play, but this was a heck of a goal. Red River just digging for something in the crease in the blue paint. Caden Ulmer being helped along with Griffin Hoganson for some pressure in there. And then this is the play of the night so far offensively. Ulmer gets a step, see ya. In, breakaway, bar down, top shelf goal. You're not going to stop that very often if you're up against Caden Ulmer. Ulmer with his hat trick tonight makes it 3-2. And yeah, that play is the play that a lot of people are going to look at when they break down this film for Red River, and they're going to say, okay, that's scary, because there were two defenders there. Neither one knew which direction to go. He went right through them and just beat them and had a chance to come up at the goal.
Yeah, and you could see it coming. As soon as he picked up that puck just on the other side of the red line, I think you and I were both thinking, like, oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and the thing is, they were even with him, even as far as the blue line. He got a step somewhere between the blue line and the circles, but it doesn't take a lot of distance for him to turn it into a breakaway chance.
No, it's not. We've seen it tonight. He looks faster than I've ever seen him look. But it's not even about the high-end speed. It's just, like you said, the quickness, like how fast he can get to that max speed. And it's like a step, and he is just gone, and we've seen him flying around the ice all night tonight.
Absolutely gone. Scoring summary in the period, Roseau's goal, Antone Clint that you saw, was on the power play, and that one was helped out on the play by a couple of defensemen who had decent nights tonight for Roseau. Ethan Neville and Tayden Peterson been impressed. They had a lot of puck handling time that second period. That came at 51 seconds on the man advantage. And then the goal for Ulmer digging in the crease. They're going to give assists on that to Griffin Hoganson and Brecken Holtberg. I think it was Holtberg that put the play in, and Hoganson was there to get a touch on it out in front of the net. Came at 11:26. And then Ulmer, the goal, that'll be assisted by Cale Gruenberg and Griffin Hoganson. So even though we saw Ulmer go 2/3 of the length of the ice, maybe just half, he did get a great pass that came off that play from Gruenberg. Gruenberg hit him just above the blue line with the puck, and that got him in space that allowed Ulmer to make that play. So Hoganson picks up a couple of assists. Gruenberg, I think, has played a good night tonight. He gets on the board there as well, and we saw that top line combined all the way through for some scoring.
I really like that top line. I think there's still, I think there's a lot of room to grow. I'm seeing some plays where it's like, I think they could make another pass, they could do this, they could do that, and they're not seeing it yet. I think that line's going to figure some things out here and be a real threat.
Absolutely.
Throughout the year.
Yeah, they're showing you what they can get done tonight. There's no question about that. Shots on goal are 26-13 in favor of Grand Forks Red River, and that takes you by surprise. 26-13. Again, Roseau's had some chances that haven't been shots tonight. It's worth mentioning that.
Yeah, but it's gone in spurts, right? I think both teams have kind of been the aggressor. Red River more so, but Red River's, when Red River is going, they've gotten shots in bunches. We saw that one sequence with Simmons where he made about 3 rebound saves, eventually covered it up.
Sure.
What you're seeing from Roseau is kind of plays on the rush and a shot. Good plays, don't get me wrong, or power play, work, shot. They're not getting second and third opportunities.
They do seem positioned to do that, don't they? They're a transition-oriented team right now.
Transition-oriented, their power play's good. They don't take a lot of shots. They kind of put you to sleep with a few passes, get you out of position, and then find the guy that's open.
Absolutely. Well, 3-2, Red River with a hat trick from Caden Ulmer leading the way. And we have our third period on the way as we continue with our intermission report tonight. It's brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And stick around. Third period action is on the way in just a couple of moments tonight from Eagles Arena and a Blue Line Ice Complex in Grand Forks. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports tonight from Eagles Arena and Blue Line Ice Complex, where we go ready to period number 3 tonight. Our intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Riders leading 3-2 over Roseau. Now the question is, who will be the second Rough Rider to score a goal this year?
Well, I'm trying to think. Who do you got? I mean, I feel like Hoganson's the easy one, so let's
Hoganson's been around it. You know, I kind of like, for whatever reason, Mason Breno doing his thing.
Yeah, he's had some looks. He had that breakaway. I'm going to go same line. I'm going Stetson Brown gets it.
Okay. I mean, either way, you know, get the second line going, right? But, of course, Ulmer can score 6. That'd be fine, too.
Don't sleep on Brecken Halpern. Just a, simple wrist shot from the point that finds its way through everybody.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do this,
The old Wyatt Leduc, we call it.
Wasn't that a great year?
He's been skating with us, men's league. Just want to throw that out.
Does he still have that nice soft wrister?
He's a good player still.
He's
way better than me.
We enjoyed him. We enjoyed that season, too. I mean, we've enjoyed a lot of seasons together watching these teams play. There's a shot by Griffin Hoganson, speak of the devil, right out in front of the net as we start the third period. Red River leading by a score of 3-2 over Roseau here tonight. Beck Hammer with the puck for the Rams in his own end. Red River putting some pressure on early here. Gruenberg gets pulled down from behind. Ulmer widening out to the corner, turns it back to Brecken Halpern, right point. Hallberg has one deflected, but holds the offensive end. Found Hoganson, bottom of the right circle. Hoganson got a little chipper away that floats. It's still loose. It's underneath Simmons, and now this game has gotten a little bit more chippy as the night has gone on. That time Neville is hooking it up with Gruenberg. Gruenberg, I feel like, has been in a couple of these tonight, and he does not back down from anybody, does he?
No, there's always one or two of those guys who kind of always find their way into the mix.
I like it.
You need them.
There's nothing. You need those guys. You do. You know, sometimes Red River is just a little too sexy. They got to go ahead and get after it with some grit, with some dirt. You know what I mean? Puck loose in front of the net. There was a chance there, and it goes wide from Blaze Newbert. He's back behind the net for Red River. Newbert back into the corner, turns back left side, picked up on the far edge by Hal Brelenton. Brelenton brings it up for Roseau into the offensive end. George trying to rush after it. Opening game of the year for both teams. Quick chance out in front. Waggy put one over the bar. Carinta was able to go out and get a piece of it. Maybe off one of the blockers on his hands to kick that one up and over the bar. Puck comes back towards the near side. Long rush to get to it for Breno. Waggy turns it back though for Roseau. Waggy's had a good game tonight. He comes up, odd man rush, 3-on-2, drops it off towards the right for Tyler George, and the pass was just a bit offline. Waggy turned it back to the wall. He kept digging for it back behind the net, and now a mishandle on the right point by Taden Peterson, and the Riders try to go in to get some action. Minute and a half gone by. Peterson back right point into traffic. Carinta steers to the side. Saw that one the whole way. Puck loose off the top of the dasher. Stetson Brown is there. Goes loose. Waggy short-sided. Carinta stops that. Loose in front of that. A chance coming in from behind that time by Hal Brelenton. Finally stopped by Carinta. And we'll see a draw coming up in the Red River zone.
A couple of big saves by Carinta. That's probably the most action he's had, right? Consecutively, where it's a shot, then a shot, then a shot. Most of what he's had has just been kind of one-offs, but way to stay with a couple of rebounds there and keep it at 3-2.
There were some dangerous moments in that mix.
Sure was.
For Roseau, actually for Red River from Roseau in that situation, and the Rams have come back with a pretty good couple of shifts still in the Grand Forks Red River zone. It ends up back behind the net. Brody Lucier turning one back off to the right, chipped by Kulka into the neutral zone. Roseau will come back with the puck right side. Beck Hammer turning one up into the offensive end. Carinta out to stop that behind his net for the transition play. And the puck comes off the right wall. Riders turn it over again. More charge going in. This is Truett Gustafson, where the bingo card was who's wearing 14 for Roseau tonight. No one knew. They finally figured it out as the game went on. Puck chase Kulka coming up into the Roseau end. He got dragged away. Third line winger and got through most of the Roseau defense before being pulled down. Kolka's got it again, left circle. Short-sided chance up and over. This will float back out into the neutral end again, and finally rushed down by Ryan Reichow for Red River on his own side of the ice. Back up top, Kolka will toss one in at the end of his shift to facilitate the change. Rams get over with Beck Hammer with a touch in the corner, and now Ethan Neville. Neville will stop, break out to center. A little bit too strong for Jude Whitrock. Rider defense collapses on that right along the stripe line to the center of the ice. Whitrock, a touch comes back to Gruenberg. He tried to backhand up the ice for Hoganson, and that one was broken up again. Edmond goes back to get it for the Riders. Turns it back towards the right side for Breckenholtberg. A pitchfork up into the neutral zone. Haas chips it down for Roseau. Turns it back behind him, finding Taden Peterson. Back up into neutral ice, or rather Hammer with it. Turns it back behind the Red River end. Corinta with a touch back behind the Red River net. 13:35 to play in the third period, and it's 3-2 in favor of Grand Forks Red River on the all-true scoreboard. Battle for control of the puck. Big hit that was put on Whitrock as he turned to try to find the loose change in the high slot. He'll drag it into the corner against Holtberg. Goes loose, Hammer with it, back towards the right side. Toss into traffic wide by Taden Peterson. To the far corner for Holtberg for Red River. Ulmer has one poked off his stick, but an aggressive play over the top defensively by Rylan Edmond took away an opportunity from Roseau's Tyler George. Puck back out in the neutral zone. Hoganson by himself against a pair of defenders. Turns, comes back forehand side, floats one through the slot. Simmons kicked that away, and the puck goes loose to Haas in the left corner for Roseau. Haas is top, turns it back off the left side. Waggy comes away with it along the wall and dumps it back into the Red River end. And Corinto will reach back and touch it up for an icing call against Roseau with 12:47 left to go in the third period. 3-2 on the all-true scoreboard.
Some chances back and forth, but the last few minutes, Ryan, I saw some really soft and kind of lazy plays for Red River. There's one thing I know about Tim Scarperud. He does not like soft plays.
No, I've watched a couple of his practices, and I got to tell you, Rhino, I can't think of something that scares me worse than Tim Scarperud being upset with me if I was one of his players at practice. He will get into you, but it's good, you know.
Yeah, if they're doing a film session, he earmarked these last couple minutes. Some people are going to be feeling really silly in that film room.
Well, let's keep in mind, game one of the season, the conditioning's not 100% complete yet. We played hard hockey tonight.
Don't make excuses, Ryan. Hard plays.
I'm not making excuses. I'm making reasons, okay? But I hear you, okay? Hard plays. I'm on it, Rhino. I got it. I'll try to finish strong for you. Puck up into the neutral zone. Brelenton for Roseau. 3-on-3 up the ice, and he sends it wide. Waggy follows it up. Send that one wide to the net. It's loose and comes off Corinta for a score from Hal Brelenton to tie the game at 3 apiece. Oh, boy. Brelenton just trying to send it across the ice, and he was hugging the goal line at the bottom of the crease, and Corinta coming back in.
Yeah, Corinta knocked that in just. Kind of a weird bounce. We'll see it.
Take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and this is Brelenton just trying to put it through, and you see the back action from Corinta coming back into his own crease. He shoveled it into his own net. And Grand Forks Red River has seen the game tied on them. It's now 3-3 as Roseau scores the equalizer here in the third period. So now with 12 minutes to go, we'll see if those legs catch back up a little bit now with the game back to an even Steven matchup. Puck will be put back into the Red River end. Riders back to get to it. Brody Lucier circling out on the right side. Lucier will lead the charge up into center ice. Thor Seeger trying to step through, and we have an offside call, I believe, coming up against Red River. And more action between Ethan Neville turning around and talking with Thor Seeger. This, I don't know. Is there a little rivalry brewing here between Roseau and Red River? I mean, it's got that feel, even though you wouldn't think it's there.
You know where we're at here, right? North Dakota team wants to beat a Minnesota team. Minnesota team doesn't want to lose to a North Dakota team. And that's always an element whenever you get a game like this. That will never change.
And the puck comes loose off the right. Here's Caden Ulmer, the ever-dangerous one. Got held up as he made his way to the right corner by Haas. It's kept in by Gruenberg, back to Ulmer, charging down the goal line, put one off the side of the net. Haas again, and Gruenberg takes him out. Puck loose behind it. Whitrock shovels it free for Roseau and turns it back out to the point. Riders tried to hold it in, but they're offside if they touch up. That's the appropriate call. They came back behind the line. Now a turnover. Ulmer's
no,
got it
what
over
happened?
net. He scores. I believe Simmons thought it was a penalty, and Ulmer scores his 4th goal on what is an empty net as Simmons was on his way off the ice believing that Red River had been called for a penalty.
Oh, no.
That's 4 for Ulmer tonight. Time of the goal will be at 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's look at that again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Simmons is there. The call goes up, and there he comes.
Yeah,
the
it's
goalie just leaving, and there's the turnover, and Ulmer's right there for a poke-in. From distance, but a poke-in nonetheless.
Well, that's the easiest one Ulmer will get this year.
4-3 your score. Is that an empty net goal? I believe it probably is. I've never seen one in a tie game in the first 6 minutes of a period, but
listen,
that must be an empty net goal. That's got to be.
That's probably not the first time that's happened, but I don't know if I can recall seeing it happen.
4-3, Grand Forks Red River by 1. You know, it's been a year where we've seen really strange things happen. Twice this year in volleyball matches, I saw balls kicked and saved, which is legal. I'd never seen it before.
No.
And now I've seen an empty net goal in a tie game.
I've seen the kick a few times.
I've never seen it actually work. I've seen players kick at it, if you know what I mean, but it doesn't really work out very often most of the time. Puck along the Red River bench near side of the ice. This will come back out into neutral ice, and a step beyond, this is Breno coming up the ice for Red River. Breno with a backhander, wide of the net. Stetson Brown was the target. Loose off the far side, right point. Ryan Edmond trying to hold it up into the offensive end. Blaze Newbert coming to it in the neutral zone, and this will work back into the Red River zone with 10 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the third. Boy, if that's the game-winning goal, that's a tough way to drop one.
Well, by the way, we're at 4 goals now, and we still are wondering who the next rider to score a goal is going to be.
I wonder what Caden Ulmer felt like when he saw that wide-open target.
He kind of panicked a little bit almost. Didn't he look like he's like, no way?
It's like seeing a 5x5 buck from 50 yards. Shot from the high slot. Thor Seeger with a wrister that's saved by goalie Brendan Simmons. And we'll see a draw coming up at the Roseau end with 9:46 left to go in the third period.
One thing we can confirm is the student section, who's now right behind Simmons, was enthusiastically pounding on the glass.
You know, there's a great crowd here tonight at Eagles Arena or Blue Line Ice Complex, but our camera wouldn't show it because no one sits at these games for some reason.
They love standing on the glass. I would be on the glass too, FYI.
They stand on the glass. They stand on the rail. There's all kinds of new chairs in this place, you know. One-timer from the high slot, wrestled loose by Seeger, comes out to the right. What a nice play by Cullen Ross on a sidestep. His wrister goes wide of everybody. Ryan Haas comes back to it for Roseau along the right side wall. It works back into the Roseau end. Behind the net, Tayden Peterson. Circle out towards the right, puts this back into the neutral zone. Gloved up there by Beck Hammer for Red River. Rather not Hammer for Red River, but rather Caden Svoboda for Grand Forks Red River. Puck over towards the near side wall. Touched up there by Truett Gustafson. On the right side, Ross, top of the right circle, right in on Simmons, and Simmons will hold on for the whistle. I'll tell you who has an extra jump in their step right now. All 3 officials every time there's a stoppage in play, trying to break it up. You know, you brought up an interesting aspect of this, Minnesota versus North Dakota. You know, I always expect that at some point the Minnesota teams will say, no, but that's Grand Forks. And they don't do that, do they, Ryan?
They do not.
No.
They do not. It does not matter.
It should, though. That's the thing, is that by all measures it should. Here's Antone Clint getting free, but Carinta back in his own zone will cut this off before Clint can get to it. Puck comes left side for Bodenhammer. Back behind the net, Clint tries to float it out in front. Gruenberg will take it off the end wall. And the Riders try to work back to the direction halfway through period number 3, get a media stoppage, next dead puck. It'll be taken out by Griffin Hoganson to Caden Ulmer, who's just lethal tonight. He'll pitch one in on net. Simmons going to hold on to it. And that's going to bring us to our media stoppage with 8:34 to play in the third. Halfway home in the third, the Riders lead it by a score of 4-3 on the Ultra scoreboard. We have a timeout for media brought to you by Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
This is the KNOX
Welcome back to our
Intermission
coverage of
Report,
high school hockey.
presented by.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We are at 8:34 to play third period. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz, Cooper Freege with you tonight from Blue Line Ice Complex, Midtown Grand Forks. Riders leading by a score of 4-3 over Roseau on a mishap empty net goal. That's the difference in this one right now. A wrister coming in from the right by Brecken Holtberg off the restart of play. Ulmer dropping things off to Griffin Hoganson, top of the right circle. Has it deflected off his stick. Antone Clint trying to get free. Chips off the glass for Roseau. This will flow back in the Red River end. Holtberg back to it defensively. Good defensive read by Holtberg. And now Gruenberg with some open space to work with in the neutral zone. Trying to stick handle around a defender. Hoganson in the right corner. Held up. He turns away from some pressure, rotates back out near side, tries to drop it back in the corner. Jude Whitrock fights with him for control on a shot from the left point by Ryan Edmond. That'll be into the glove of Brendan Simmons for a stoppage with 7:54 left in the third.
Tell you what, one thing we've seen is when Red River has been good is when they get the puck deep, when they get below the red line, below the dots, get it deep, and then pressure Roseau's defensemen. That's the recipe, and when they do that, all of these other things start opening up. But that's when they've been at their best. I mean, if you're Red River this last 8 minutes, I mean, that's got to be the recipe.
Yeah, we're going to see a hooking call. Yeah, Stetson Brown had an arm come over his stick from Waggy, and I know that for Rams fans, that's going to sound like I'm defending Stetson Brown, but Brown let go of his stick. Oh, they're going to get him for tripping. Okay, I can live with that. The hooking call would have been a little tough in that situation when your stick is grabbed, but if it's going to be a tripping call, then okay, I get that. So Brown goes in for tripping. The time of the penalty will be at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. And another RBB Electric power play for Roseau, brought to you by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. So the Rams with a man advantage, down a goal by a score of 4-3, trying to find their way back to a tie matchup. Puck comes out to the right point. Neville sweeps it back into the corner. This Roseau power play has been impressive with their puck handling ability tonight. Neville backpedaling up towards the high slot. Turns it to George. Back to Neville. Right circle. One-timer. Haas has it blocked. Comes back to him, and now Neville closing the gap on top. Puck stood right in front of Corinta for a moment on a deflection, but it's cleared back to the wall. Puck goes loose to Rylan Edmond, and now the Riders trying to gain possession. They'll bring it back to the neutral zone and clear one down the left wall.
Yeah, when Roseau runs this power play, Ryan, they're trying to work to one side, and they're looking, there's this back door, and they try and work it to this backside guy here.
They've been successful
and
with
they do a good job of it. They kind of overload one side, and then you kind of forget about the backdoor option, and all of a sudden he's there.
Caden Ulmer rushing up the ice. He's going to make a stand for Red River defensively on the forecheck, right between the hash marks, trying to disrupt Roseau's breakout. Antone Clint stepping away from Ulmer and backhanding a puck into the neutral zone. Only 42 seconds remain in the RBB Electric power play. This power play has gone by without Roseau really having a lot of opportunities. Puck comes back right side for Taden Peterson. Peterson steps into the neutral zone, gains the offensive end, and then tosses it back to Antone Clint, who comes to the point to rescue a play. He went looking on the left side for Bowden Hammer. Hammer stood up by Rost and Whitrock for Roseau. We'll turn it back towards the left side. He was able to find Peterson. Shot comes in high from the point by Peterson, and it's turned back towards the near side point. Clint now with a short-sided chance, and a puck kicked back at the net by Whitrock. That'll be covered up by Corinta, and he will hold for the whistle with 8 seconds left of Roseau's man advantage and 6 minutes left to go in the game.
Boy, that's a heads-up play by Whitrock to kind of kick that puck on net. Now, obviously, if it goes in that situation, it's not a goal, but Corinta struggled to handle it.
Yeah.
And so it does create something on net where there's possible secondary opportunity.
Yep, why not, right? Now, if you score, it's not going to count like you mentioned, but every once in a while you get the nice little bounce off of that situation, and Roseau's had a couple of those bounces tonight. Puck back in the Roseau end on a clear by Red River, and the power play comes to an end. Second time tonight that the Riders have cleared a puck with 1 second left to go on the power play for the opposition. Then they come out at full strength, but this time it'll be an icing call against Red River that's going to take us back into the Rider zone for a draw. With 5:34 to go, a 4-goal night for Caden Ulmer and a 4-3 Rider lead.
Yeah, and as we get down to this last 5.5, these face-offs become incredibly important. We've seen at least one goal off a draw, and we've seen multiple other opportunities. And the one-goal game, you got to make sure we know where we're going, everyone. If we win, lose, who's got who?
Hoganson winning a draw. It'll be swept up by Brecken Holtberg for Grand Forks Red River. 5.5 to play, third period. Riders leading by 1. Puck comes out into the neutral zone, and Beckhammer picks it up along the stripe line right in the middle of the ice. This will come back towards the near side for Ryland Edmond. Edmond turns it up neutral zone. Picked up off the near side wall by Griffin Hoganson. Hoganson trying to toss to himself, gets it back off the end wall. Turns one back towards the point. Holtberg struggles to hold the offensive zone. He'll be pressured by Hal Brelanthan. Brelanthan scored the goal here in the period that tied things up before the empty netter for Red River that's given them the 4-3 lead. Hoganson stepping up, and we'll see an offside call, I believe.
Yep.
And now it's Hoganson that engages with Ethan Neville. Hoganson is 9 feet 7 inches tall. You don't want to mess with Griffin Hoganson. That's just not the guy to pick.
Yeah, I think his wingspan goes from blue line to blue line if he stands at center ice and stretches his arms.
It's just uncanny to watch that out there. A man among boys, or at least that's what it looks like at that point, right? Peterson playing back to Ryan Haas. Haas into the neutral zone, lost control of the puck. It'll be brought back up by Red River. They go looking out in the high slot. They've got a loose puck and a drive that whistles just wide of the net. Good play by the Red River third line. It was Chase Kalka that got the shot up and over the bar. Thor Seeger created that sequence for the Rough Riders.
Chase Kalka listening to his fall coach and shooting any chance he gets and really playing to his strength, I think.
So that's what his fall coach told him to do.
Chase, just shoot it whenever you get a chance.
Why not?
Get it on net.
Sure. Makes sense to me. Jude Whitrock is going to take the draw for Roseau out of the Rams' left circle in the Roseau zone. Riders trying to fight it free off the far side wall. Turned back down the wall by Mason Breno. Breno's played a nice night tonight as that second line center for Red River. Breakout comes back to the neutral zone for Antone Clint. Clint steps up into the Rider end, widening out towards the left corner. Thought about wraparound, then stopped and hit the side of the net with a fall-away type of wrist shot. Puck goes loose into the far corner. Picked up along the wall by Alex McDonald for the Riders. Riders have played all 6 defensemen, and all 6 have made their presence known at various times throughout the night tonight, which is kind of what we expected. Back to Clint in the neutral zone. Cullen Ross comes over to pay him a visit. And a loose puck taken up by Caden Svoboda. Svoboda will turn it back towards the near side. Riders get back in the neutral zone. Another broken stick on the ice as well. Meanwhile, Ross coming up the ice. Toe dragging around a defender. Drives one in, short-sided on Simmons. He'll knock it down and cover it up. And we see a draw with 3:45 left to go. The third draw is brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and brought to you tonight by Big Jim's Tire, your number one supplier of egg tires in the region.
I'm just looking down the Roseau bench. Cullen Ross and Anton Clint went chest to chest there, and no one really fell down, but Clint came off the ice kind of holding his shoulder. Now I'm looking, it seems like he grabbed the new stick because it's broke and he's fine, but it looked like he was in some pain coming off the ice. That'd be a tough loss in this last 4 minutes.
Yeah, that would be a tough player for Roseau to lose. Anton Clint has done some really nice things tonight with the puck. Maybe not so much in the scoring category, but he's been around it and created some plays. 3.5 minutes to go. Roseau back up ice. Hal Brelanthan has got a goal in the period, ends up overskating one far side. Hoganson trying to peer away his way back, and Brelanthan stepped in front of him that time and knocked him away. Here comes Caden Ulmer. Ulmer against 2 again. This time they close the gap on him rather quickly. He'll backhand it into the corner for Hoganson behind the Roseau net. And then Hoganson gets picked from Anton Waggy coming in from behind, but Hoganson stays with it, pulls it away from Waggy down to Gruenberg, who fans on a one-timer, but it didn't get to him cleanly. Picked away by Brelenthon from behind, and Roseau will dump back up into the Red River end. We're inside of 3 minutes to play in the third period. It's 4-3, Red River by 1. It's that excuse me empty net goal that has us right now in a 4-3 deadlock. Or I should say rather 4-3 lead for Red River. Puck back in the neutral zone, picked up there by Ethan Neville. He'll come back up in the Red River end. Taken off the wall by Svoboda. He'll turn it back towards the near side, looking for Brecken Holtberg. A turn out of the near side circle. Holberg chasing again. Svoboda's there. Throws a body on Jude Whitrock. I think the Riders have done a really nice job on Jude Whitrock tonight. They haven't really allowed him to make plays.
I agree. Good call.
Puck on the right side. Brought up by Mason Breno. Breno in the corner. Circling back behind the Roseau net. Tried to feed it out for Stetson Brown. It comes back to the point. Played down the wall by Rylan Edmond on the left. Loose back behind the goal line extended. Taken out by Beckhammer for Roseau. And he squeezed it back into the neutral zone. We're inside of 2 minutes left to go in the third, so when will Roseau empty the crease? Wait, they did that once already tonight, but they weren't supposed to.
Too soon, Ryan.
That is the game-deciding goal right now. Puck back in the neutral zone. Hammer stepping up. They will empty the crease right now.
Nope, he went back. He went back.
Well, I think they thought Red River was about to gain possession of the puck, but now they're off. So Simmons will come off the ice for the Roseau Rams, and it's 6-on-5. The extra attacker is on the ice for Roseau in a one-goal game, and Roseau ices the puck, and it looks like the goalie's coming right back out.
Gotta think maybe a timeout here also for Roseau.
Yeah, 1:30 left to go in the game. They haven't taken it yet.
They did.
Now they did. So Roseau will call for the stoppage. We'll keep it here with the clock down to 1:30 left to go. Timeout's brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround family-owned and operated promotional shop. And also brought to you tonight by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Well, a shout out to Bob Gillen again, Ryan, from IndyHighSchoolHockey.com. He's back at it for another year. It's now HighSchoolHockeyND.com.
I always have a hard time finding that. I got to figure it out.
It's HighSchoolHockeyND.com. Okay. Some other games tonight. Bismarck Legacy leads Bismarck High 7-2. That game is in progress. Fargo Davies leading Minot United 3-0. Now you're wondering, what is Minot United?
I was.
It's Minot North and Minot High, still having one hockey team.
Oh, that's right.
So that would be Minot. For those of you that don't know what Minot United is. Central's at Devils Lake tonight, or Detroit Lakes, my apologies. Central's at Detroit Lakes tonight. We don't have a score on that one as of yet, but we'll look for an update on that and try to tell you more about that coming up here as we move along with our day. See if we can't get you some scores.
Oh, look for that Central one, see if we can.
We're kind of curious, aren't we?
Looks like it was 2-0 after 2.
Central or Detroit Lakes?
Central.
Okay.
Rivard and Kwame.
Next game for Red River is a week from tonight. And guess who? East Grand Forks, the defending Class A state champions in Minnesota.
And did they win the Gambucci Cup also?
And the Gambucci is on the line starting on Friday night after Thanksgiving. Quick snapshot right side by Griffin Hoganson that's deflected. Roseau had the extra attacker on the ice, but they iced the puck, and Red River's in the offensive end ever since winning the draw. Left circle, it's Griffin Hoganson into the corner, puts it back behind the net. On net, Ulmer's there. Ulmer pulling it away towards the right circle. Comes out wide towards the wall. And this is just great possession time by Red River right now, finding clean passes. Hoganson takes a chance. It's wide, but Groomberg's there, looks to trap it up against the wall. And guess what? Red River's there with Caden Ulmer to pull it free. Ryan, this is a textbook right now on how to hold on to the puck.
Textbook, and everyone's digging in on this, but this is like 80% Caden Ulmer just wheeling around.
30 seconds left, and Roseau tries to empty it, and guess what? They ice the puck again.
Boy, now here's what I'm going to ask. If you're Red River, do you call your timeout so that you can leave this line out based on what you just saw?
I think you do. You can't take the timeout with you. Or is it offside here? What's the call going to be?
It looks
They're going to bring it back to center ice.
Was it an ice that should have been an ice? I guess I missed it, I guess.
I did so. I did also. I thought it was an icing call. So 30 seconds left. They draw at center ice. And the Riders dump it down the right side. Brecken Holtberg will put it down the right side wall. But again, Red River picking up possession. And the puck goes free near side. This will be dumped back into the corner by Blaze Newbert. Newbert puts it in, looking for Mason Breno back behind the net. He and Stetson Brown are both there. Brown turning with the clock down to 10 seconds left to go in the third period. Brown trying to hold on to possession, comes out with Jude Whitrock. They've got a 4-on-3. Final 5 seconds. Whitrock getting free. Wrister left side deflected, takes it into the corner, and that's the matchup tonight. And Grand Forks Red River will start the season 1-0 after picking up a 4-3 win over Roseau tonight in the strangest of circumstances. It's a great hockey game. There's no question about it, folks. Entertaining, fun to watch. Nothing wrong with that, but the only problem tonight, the empty net goal that Red River's going to win the game on that's just so awkward. That will be kind of the story coming out of this, along with Caden Ulmer's 3 other goals to help win the game tonight.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, wild situation, Ryan. Again, I'm sure it's happened before. I can't tell you in the thousands of hockey games I've watched if I can tell you I've ever seen that situation happen.
I haven't. I can tell you that. You've seen more than I have, but yeah, I mean, and you know, it's one of those things where you make a mistake at the beginning of the season, and
sure.
The good news is that it doesn't affect you. I mean, like what difference does it make, right? It's a Minnesota versus North Dakota game. Both teams are here to kind of figure out who they are. And here's the thing, Ryan. I think the thing that comes out of this tonight that both teams will be happy with, I think they both found out they're going to be pretty competitive hockey teams this year, and they'll be happy with that. There were some things to work out, but I think they're going to be happy with the way that this one at least flowed from a competitive standpoint tonight.
100%. You get a good picture in an actual competitive game, not a controlled scrimmage, not practice, an actual game against another team who doesn't know what you're doing. And I think both teams are going to look at this and say, hey, there's some areas that we can grow in, obviously, game one, but there's also some things that we did really well that we can build on too.
So your final score in this one tonight is Grand Forks Red River 4 and Roseau 3. Our post-game report is on the way, and our post-game report tonight is brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And our post-game report tonight will be brought to you as well by our friends at the Ski and Bike Shop. Now stick with us, because coming up, we'll have our highlights right away in our post-game report. We'll show you all the happenings in this one tonight. So those of you looking for the highlights of tonight's matchup, stay with us. A brief break, and we'll have that for you in our post-game report. We'll also select our PS Garage Doors player of the game, our finest auto trim, finest cover of the game with those highlights. They're on the way next in our post-game report tonight, brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and by Spray Advantage. So hold on with us as we move into our post-game report. Your final in this one tonight, Red River 4, Roseau 3, and our postgame is on the way next.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
This is the
coverage of high school hockey tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports tonight as we make our way to our post-game report this evening. From our debut of high school hockey tonight, Rough Rider hockey, the Riders tonight defeat the Roseau Rams by a final score of 4-3 this evening. Riders moved to 1-0 in the season, and Roseau will drop to 0-1 on the year. Post-game report tonight here at Eagles Arena and Blue Line Ice Complex, and our post-game report brought to you this evening by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders, and 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our post-game report brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop. Whether it's Trek bikes being fitted out for boots, a new snowboard, new skis, Ski and Bike Shop wants to keep you moving with the quality products that you're looking for at the Ski and Bike Shop. They bring you our post-game report here tonight as well. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you here this evening, and Cooper Freegee with our videography work tonight. Well, we had a lot of things to learn about these two teams coming into tonight. New players, they had graduated, some pretty heavy hitters, both teams did. I think they came back perhaps more competitive than perhaps they could have in a certain situation. You lose that much frontline talent, it'd be nice to kind of lack for some offense. Both teams had some really solid offensive opportunities tonight. Roseau, a pretty good power play, which is something to take out of this tonight. Red River, a pretty good first line when Caden Ulmer's out there sparking it, and so some of the takeaways from tonight's action.
Yeah, you kind of said it. I mean, Caden Ulmer was incredible. The first line as a unit looked good. So now if you're Red River, you take this win. You have 37 shots. One guy scored 4 goals, though.
Yeah.
Kind of got to ask, like, hey, who's going to step up? You know, who's going to get that secondary scoring? We can't rely on one guy. I know it's just one game. But someone's got to kind of fill in that secondary offense and get some help there. But again, you kind of said there were times where the offense looked really good. They were clicking, they were making plays. I talked about they looked better when they just kind of got pucks low and kind of rolled from there. That seems to be their game plan. I feel like that plays to their strengths a little bit. I think a lot of positives overall, though, that Red River can take from this. I thought they were, like you said, way better than I thought they were going to look.
And not only that, but, you know, no bad goals that were given up by Rylan Carenta tonight.
No.
Got a power play goal, he got a bad bounce goal, that type of thing. Otherwise, we saw him do some pretty nice things and play with some confidence tonight. Sophomore goaltender for Roseau, Simmons.
He was good.
Played incredibly well
really
tonight.
Good.
Absolutely, yep. And in the long run, I was impressed with how the defensemen handled themselves for Red River in an offensive capacity. They kept pucks in the zone quite often. They didn't mishandle on the point. They know their role is to create some offense while the forwards kind of figure it out, and they've embraced that role tonight. All 6 of them seem to have moments where they did that pretty well this evening.
Right, and when I look at their defensive core, I mean, I think they can all contribute offensively, in, like I said, in a little bit different ways. I mean, Cullen Ross is a guy who's going to be up in the play. Brecken Halper is going to be a guy who's probably going to be more of a stay-at-home player, but he can shoot from the point. He always gets pucks through. They can all kind of do their own thing offensively. Brody Lucier is the 6th defenseman and sophomore. He had some nice rushes today. He had some great plays. He had that 2-on-0 where he knocked it down, threw it to 2-on-0 where Simmons made that great save. So you're right. All the defensemen kind of added in offensively. Maybe not on the scoreboard as much, but creating chances at least.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you say we take a look at some of the highlights that we had from our matchup here this evening as we take you through goal-scoring plays and the moments that made this one kind of a game to watch here tonight. Roseau gets it started here this evening, and this was the face-off that we were talking about. A dig here for Waggy at the end of it. It came out to the point. Face-off won by Roseau. Shows you how lightning fast offense can be created. But then this was the beginning of Caden Ulmer's night. Ulmer getting free, following his own chance here and wrapping it around and coming back to score. We're tied at 1 at the end of the opening period. Kind of gave us a semblance of some things to come. This is off the power play, and Roseau coming back with another goal on the near side, actually the far side of the ice. That's Antone Clint on what was an impressive power play cycle. But then Caden Ulmer, first of all, dirty, gritty area goal. Holgensen holding one in. Ulmer comes in backside and digs that through right out in front of the goal line. And then this was the play of the night that Ulmer really shined on. That pass from Gruenberg, and you see Ulmer come up, split 2 defenders, and just go bar down top shelf goal there gives Red River their first lead at 3-2 at the end of the second period. Roseau comes back to tie it, however. Just a mishap that's carried into his own goal tonight, and I think it's Hal Brethenton that got credit for that goal. But then the one that really just puzzles us, you'll watch goaltender Simmons start to come off the ice. They thought it was a penalty. It wasn't. Caden Ulmer picks up a puck inside the blue line and just puts one away for what turned out to be the game-winning goal. And we heard from the people that were downstairs. They said that Simmons got yo-yoed. Somebody saw a hand up, thought it was a penalty. It was an icing call, and Red River was going to get called.
Well, it was delayed offsides.
Oh, yeah, that's why. My apologies. Yeah, delayed offside.
offsides.
Red River's going to get called for offsides. Somebody saw a hand up. Must be a penalty. Let's get the extra attacker out there. Simmons starts coming off. They realize it too late. Ulmer takes away, I guess, a turnover, and it's right there in front of an empty net. What are you going to do? Technically, it was not an empty net goal. They said because the goaltender was still on the ice when it was scored, it is a goal at even strength or whatever with the net occupied. So it's not an empty net goal tonight. So,
yeah,
there's your
for
explanation.
whatever it was worth, he was about 3 feet from the boards when the puck went in. So.
Yeah. I mean, what I really like about it is that the very first game of the year ends with intrigue, where no one really knows who should have won the hockey game, right? It should have probably been 3-3, but Red River gets it because of, somebody coming off the ice at that point.
I mean, they also put up 37 shots. So
They
I mean,
did,
maybe this was theirs to. But anyway.
Yeah, they deserve to win it tonight. Okay, as far as the final numbers that we have in this one tonight, and I have a pair of glasses around here somewhere. That's the one thing about this year that, there they are, okay, just so everybody knows. I don't wear them during the game, but I got to wear them to see this small print. It's getting bad, Rhino.
You're getting old, man.
I am. Caden Ulmer, 4 goals tonight. 4 goals for Caden Ulmer. As far as the other scoring, Griffin Hoganson, a pair of assists tonight. Cullen Ross with an apple. Breckin Hallberg with an apple tonight as well. And Cale Gruenberg on the board with an apple tonight as well. And for Roseau this evening, a goal for Hal Brelenthon, Hal Brelenthon, yes. That was the one that was carried into the net by Rylan Carinta at the end of the night. Anton Clint with a goal, and Abram Waggy with a goal and an assist tonight. So 2 points for Waggy, single goal for Anton Clint, and a goal for Hal Brelenthon. And then assist for Beck Hammer, assist for Tayton Peterson, and an assist for Ethan Neville. And your final score in this one tonight is 4-3. Shots are 37-19 in favor of Grand Forks Red River to end the night. And that's your post-game summary, and it's brought to you by Spray Advantage and by the Ski and Bike Shop. Well, let's start with our post-game awards here this evening. First of all, our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game Award brought to you tonight by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. If you need service on your garage door, you need PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, Grand Forks, Devils Lake. And come on, 4 goals. I mean, it's a pretty easy answer who the player of the game is tonight, right? Caden Ulmer? I mean, unless you got somebody else. Now, we do 3 stars, so we'll do 3 stars tonight. I'll give you a chance, but we all know who the number 1 is going to be. So,
yeah, we'll get there. Well, we're going to start with 3.
Yeah,
Three's, I'm not sure where to go with 3.
Yeah. It's because there were a lot of 3-star type of games tonight, right? I mean, there really were.
was, and I mean, you could almost just say that it was kind of that top line. You could almost just say it was Gruenberg,
I'm thinking that, and here's the way I would do it is, Gruenberg, 3rd star, hit that pass. I mean, that pass to Caden Ulmer is what opened him up, right? And he made a couple of other passes to open things up in the neutral zone tonight, accepted his role, knew it well. 2nd star for Hoganson because he had 2 assists tonight. I mean, he just showed up a couple of times.
2 assists, and when he gets the puck down low, especially around the net, he's just a force. I feel like he could have had more tonight. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. But I mean, he was around it a lot. And then obviously one,
Caden Ulmer.
And besides just the goal, besides the 4 goals, I mean, he was clearly the best player on the ice tonight.
Yeah, fast.
Had he
under
not
control.
scored a goal, you might have said, "Hey, that's the best player out here."
Yeah, he looked really, really good tonight. And we had heard he had taken a step, and it's not just hype. I mean, he took a step. He's playing really well right now.
Even that last shift where Red River, held it in Roseau's end, they're trying to pull their goalie. They can't get out of their own zone. I mean, it was 50 seconds of Red River possession, but I mean, most of it was Caden Ulmer just kind of dishing to somebody, getting open, getting it back, spinning around, passing somebody else, getting it back. It was him.
Yeah, Tim Scarperood's going to like having him in those types of situations where you're trying to kill off a game,
Yeah.
right?
Just skate around the ice and have someone catch you.
They're going to, you know what, after this year, they're going to put a shot clock in hockey because of Caden Ulmer, right? 3 stars of the game tonight, Cale Gruenberg, our 3rd star, 2nd star, Griffin Hoganson, and our 1st star tonight is going to be Caden Ulmer. Compliments of PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR. Now, this one might be a little bit more difficult. Finest Auto Trim, finest cover of the game tonight, brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all at Finest Auto Trim. Now, Finest Auto Trim can recover those boat seats for you. If your seats took a beating this year, Finest Auto Trim has you covered. They can get those recovered so that when ice out happens next year, you're ready to go. If you've got things that you store outside, Finest Auto Trim can custom make a cover to protect those from all of the elements. We're talking about boats, pontoons that you store outside, AC units, that type of thing, power generators. They've got you covered at Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different places to go with the finest cover. Ryland Corinth ends up making 16 stops tonight. Tested at times, not tested at others, that kind of thing. Brecken Hultberg, Cullen Rost, all the defensemen seem to have decent days here or there. As far as a play that stands out, Ryan, you got anything in mind tonight for the finest cover?
I don't know about a play, but all our options, I would go Hultberg. Just based on, Krint had a great game. Like you said, he made some big saves when he needed to, but just based on volume. I thought Hultberg, and he's done this for a while now, we've seen him, where he's such a steadying factor back at the blue line for River. He's always there. He's rarely ever out of position. He's never beat. You never see him chasing back an odd man rush. He's always the one who's back on those, but somehow he still finds his way in the offense. I thought Hultberg was just... Nothing jumps out as like a great single play. He was just really good every shift he was out there.
I don't know if they have plus-minus. They don't have plus-minus on the score sheet tonight, but I would bet that throughout the course of the year, that's going to be a heavy plus category for him just for the fact that, like you mentioned, when you go looking for something, he's where he's supposed to be.
Every
right?
time.
And there's something to be said about that being a key for success. It might not score a lot of goals. It might not do a lot of things on the stat sheet, but when you're backing up on a guy and playing a body instead of a puck and staying true to your position, that type of thing, valuable plays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it. All right, Brecken Hultberg, our finest auto trim, finest cover of the game tonight. Final award that we have for you tonight, Northland Community and Technical College with Goals Against Hunger tonight. We partnered with Northland Community and Technical College to bring you Goals Against Hunger throughout the course of the regular season. For every goal that's scored by our home teams this year, money is raised to fight hunger in our region, and Northland Community and Technical College makes that donation to the Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks. Remember, when you're trying to get a hold of that liberal arts degree that you want to start it for less and start it in your own backyard at Northland Community and Technical College. Find out what they have waiting for you at Northland Community and Technical College in East Grand Forks. And tonight, 4 goals for Grand Forks Red River, although maybe it should be $3.50 in the way that goal was scored at the end of the game tonight. But we're going to go 4 goals. We're going to go $4
They
tonight.
don't ask how, just how many.
No, just put it on the stat sheet, right? So $4 raised tonight to fight hunger at the Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks. Compliments of Northland Community and Technical College. Again, find out what that liberal arts degree at Northland Community and Technical College can do for you. All right, tomorrow, over at East Grand Forks, we get the season started for the Green Wave tomorrow night. East Grand Forks will go up against, not tomorrow night, rather tomorrow afternoon, against the Delano Tigers coming up tomorrow. It's always a great matchup when those two get together. I mean, if you want to talk about a tough schedule, East Grand Forks did it again this year, folks, okay? They really did.
They do.
Yep. So tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, Delano, it's a 2 o'clock face-off. Look for a pregame at about 1:30 over at Civic Center Arena tomorrow in East Grand Forks. Then we're back at it again. And just a reminder to everybody, after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving, Red River, East Grand Forks here. Then on Saturday, it's Central at East Grand Forks to start the Gambucci Cup Series. We waste no time at all, Ryan. We're back into it. Hardcore.
Yeah, I feel like that was the schedule last year, right?
It was.
Got him early. And
Yep. Absolutely. So let's get going. Okay, so we'll have Gambucci Cup games a week from tonight. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Hey, Rhino, pleasure again is mine to have you with me. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, season what? 8? 9?
So I stopped counting. I just enjoy it too much. I don't care.
2017. So this is 8?
Yeah.
Or 9, whatever it is.
You're becoming a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
You even wore a suit jacket tonight. I mean, that's impressive.
Game 1. And dress up.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to match you.
Well, game 2, I'll be doing the same thing, so you're going to keep it up?
Oh, boy.
And
we'll see.
Cooper Frigie was our videographer tonight, dealing up the highlights for us here this evening.
Tight shots on those replays.
Absolutely. Former state champion. Actually, you know what? You're always the state champion. Can't take it away from you. State champion at Grand Forks Red River. Cooper Frigie now working behind our camera tonight. I'm Ryan Cunningham for Ryan Kuntz and Cooper Frigie. Your final score tonight, Red River 3, Roseau, or rather Red River 4, Roseau 3. For those of you on the radio side, back to regular programming with America at night. And for those of you on the video side, we'll see you again coming up tomorrow here on KNOX Live Sports.